Did anyone order a cleric with a side of sass? If so, I'm Dahlia Avalon. Wow, how do I keep this short and sweet? I grew up in the poor sector of New Averant and took care of Papa after my mother died when I was 6. Papa was not well after she passed, so I bounced around waitressing and spent any of my free time at the Temple of Cocobio since he helped me feel close to my mama. But it was hard making ends meet as a barmaid, so after some encouragement from my best friend Silic, I enlisted as a cleric in the Order of the Fallen Star. Next thing I know, I'm across the realm with a team of strangers that have quickly become my family. Sounds pretty straightforward, right? Ready for things to take a sharp left? Okay, let's see. Turns out Cocobio, the goddess of moon and stars, is not the most virtuous angel that we thought, and well, neither is New Averant. After defecting from the church and the government, I learned that Gladlin, the god of fate, is only a slightly less destructive hot mess. And now we're on god number 3, Halasna, goddess of sun and life. As Horai now travels the world as adventurers for hire. So far, so good there. I would totally hate if something bad were to happen to her. Oh wait, there's more. How could I forget? Turns out my mother descends from a long line of devil royalty, and not just any royalty, the Deimos clan, aka the Lord of the Shadowfell. My lineage gives me this devil form I can transform into, a natural foresight gift, or curse if you ask me, and a boatload full of family drama. I discovered I have a half-brother named Silic. Yeah, that's Silic. My mother at some point has been resurrected from the dead, and oh yeah, Deimos wants to use me as a conduit for his armies to infiltrate and conquer the Averant realm. Almost forgot to mention that part, it kinda haunts my dreams a lot. But it's not all doom and gloom in my world, promise. No, really, I have wonderful friends, hilarious and fun adventures, and I may have just met the love of my life amidst it all. Jodakash is the only person I've ever met to stand right in the face of danger and swing his sword without a second thought. With as much fire and brimstone looming over our heads, I couldn't imagine living in a world without him and our friends by my side, and keeping me sane. So whatever New Averant, the gods, Deimos, or fate seem to have planned for all of us, I know that Horai will be ready to face it together. Because if we go down, we won't go down without the fight. We got this, right? Right?
Every group has its dark and mysterious member, and to Horai, that would be me. I am Gajurakash Dromic, son of Zarmir and Nelian. I grew up in a small village within the elven kingdom of Nelithir, known as Irobada. When my father left my mother, sister, and I when I was 15, and never returned, I aided my mother in running her apothecary. 3 years later, I would join my sister Medicona in serving the royal guard, becoming a personal bodyguard for Prince Juvenile Galakia. Just 2 years into my service, though, rumors of our forbidden romance would reach the king, and the following morning, after a fight with his son, the king was found dead in his room. Blame was placed on me, and with my mother's plea, I escaped the main kingdom. I spent the next 6 months running from guards before finally catching a ship off the continent. The pirate captain of the Phantom Chevron, Joff Potra, took me under his wing for the next 4.5 years. Well, until a failed raid by the crew left me behind in the kingdom of Abris, and I was captured by guards. Desperate to save my own life, I offered any information I had on the kingdom of Nelithir, eventually capturing the attention of the Council of 9. The tiefling Severus Toll had me released, and spent the following 2 years training me to be his personal spy. The next year, they shipped me off to join the Order of the Fallen Star, the army of New Averant. Here I would go by Gaiju Redfoe, and meet my team, now known as Ariath. It was only mere days into us being a group that we were sent out on various missions to destroy plagued villages, fight awoken gods in caves, and meet on our former commander, Silic Losren, and teammates Apollo and Ren. I would become a warlock of Losna during this time. An attack on our base gave us a promotion into the freelancer program, and gave us a ship, which we now call the Homeward Bound. I am the captain. We were sent to Solgaria, the Nalkadai. New Averant betrayed us there, and we fled to the Order of the Soaring Flame. There, Commander Vierthril asked us to clear a way to an Eltharian base on Okadai. However, in our month-and-a-half mission to do so, we came across one of the sons of Bahamut, Anima. After kidnapping Zephinia, he sent her, Dira, Ren, and companion Treya 10 years into the future. Apollo, now Hades, Dahlia and I spent 10 years surviving so we could return to save our friends in Alkadai. Though we've recently lost Ran to their own missions, rescued Dira's parents, fought Dahlia's devilish grandfather, and I've proposed to my love, Dahlia. It's time for me to return to Nelithir and set things right. Only time will tell if I'm successful.
As the story of Arachnagai once said, who am I? You sure you want to know? The story of my life is not for the faint of heart. If somebody told you it was a happy tale, if somebody said I was just your average guy, not a care in the world, somebody lied. My name is Apollo. Abandoned by my mother at the Silverleaf Institute. As a baby, I grew up never knowing her or my father. I grew up living and learning all that I could from the school. Everyone was great. Well, not everyone. Well, really only a few people were nice. The Institute housed the wealthiest of children, mostly. The ones that could afford prodigious education, at least. Because I was an orphan that the school took in, I was seen as an outcast. And even worse, due to my abnormal tiefling appearance with wings and tail, I was seen as a freak. I spent most of my days with my head down and my nose in a good book. Books are wonderful. They show you amazing worlds and lead you on amazing adventures. Oh, just like my one favorite story, Shriek, where he goes on an adventure with his reluctant friend Mule and Shortbread Guy. Sorry, I get a bit carried away. Things went well until one day a lad in my studies picked a fight with me. It was then that I discovered I had magical aptitude and at the same moment lost control of it. A fireball erupted from me and exploded in an area around me. Due to my tiefling heritage, I was only slightly hurt, but the boy who started it all wasn't so lucky. The boy's family wanted me expelled from the Institute, but Professor Durnick fought to have me stay. The tribunal agreed to allow it, but he was to watch over me and make sure I never used my magic again. He agreed to do so, but in secret trained me to control my powers. It was mildly successful, but I still lose control from time to time. Years passed, and one day I overheard the tale of a woman who was kidnapped and taken to a cave. I felt this was my time to finally become the hero I always read about. Little did I know I would get lost inside cave. But I would meet my found family. We've had so many adventures since, and things have been great. Well, that is until half of them disappeared. Pulled through time, and I was unable to stop the magic, and it broke me. And that's when I came to take the lead. Nice to meet you, finally. I'm Hades, Apollo's other half. See, Apollo is very innocent and has a hard time dealing with extreme stress. During a few majorly stressful moments in his life, I have taken over to get him through those situations. I first came to be during the whole business with the bully and the fireball. At least that was the earliest memory. I lived deep in his consciousness, seeing and hearing all until I'm needed. His friends being split and sent into the future 10 years was just the needed push for me to take the reins again. The only problem is, for the next 10 years, I stayed in control and couldn't talk to him. So for the last 10 years, I've been running around having a grand adventure with Dahlia and Gaiju, who become like siblings to me. Stories we could tell. I could write a book. Anyways, I eventually reconnected with our friends and have been traveling since. Oh, and Apollo has started talking again, taking control for short periods of time. Perhaps he'll take back over soon, and I'll go back to the dark corner of his brain that I usually stay. Which is good, right?
I'm Dara Mullane from Currants Gap. My family's been the town blacksmiths time out of mind. So that's what I learned, and what I thought I'd always do. My little brother Aiden, though, he was different. Don't even know where he got half the books he read, and nobody ever really understood what he was on about. Some folks got more patience for that than others, and some don't have nothing better to do but make trouble. Fenton Antery was one of those. His daddy owned the mine. He figured that meant he owed the rest of us, too. One night, Fenton had been wasting time and his daddy's money in the tavern. Took some kind of personal offense from Aiden just being Aiden. My brother was on the ground when I got there, and, well, it's kind of a blur after that till they dragged me off. I'm told Fenton ain't never been the same since. With what passed for justice in the mountains back then, that was more than enough to get me clapped in irons and shipped off to some other mine. It was 12 years before the new Aberrant soldiers came and told us the mine bosses weren't going to be a problem anymore. Whatever we were in for, he would be forgiven, and we'd be free right then and there if we joined up. Seemed like an easy choice, to be part of the folks aiming to bring peace and justice. And for a while, it made sense. I even heard my brother got to go off to some fancy school to learn magic. I swore my oath to Kokobiel, angel of the moon and stars. Only it turns out she ain't what she's supposed to be, and neither is New Averant. It's all complicated. And my team, right? Well, they're mostly all smarter than me, but even I could tell when there wasn't no choice but to leave. So we did. And here we are. What happens next? Well, that's anybody's guess.
I never put much stock in families. My own sold me off to the black market to make money off the child with wings. I was nothing but a skinny street kid with broken wings from trying to escape. That is, until the Order of the Fallen Star Soldiers rescued me. My heroes in blue. I aspired to be like them and one day meet the big three: Soma, Geneva, and Aegis. My life turned around and I worked hard night and day to hone my skills and be the best soldier I could. I usually worked on my own until I was paired up with the most peculiar group of people. We were sent on some quests, our base was attacked, and I died. But don't worry, Dahlia brought me back. I think I could actually consider her my first true friend. Gaiju and Dira also quickly wormed their way into my guarded heart as our adventures continued. My world turned a little upside down at that point as we encountered creatures and were hounded by the gods. I'm starting to think my little group is a god magnet, and I'm not quite sure how I feel about that. Anyways, one of these gods, Luna, decided that I would be a good stand-in for her and transferred her powers over to me. I met her sisters, which seem like major bitches, and I keep getting asked if I would choose peace or war, and quite frankly, I'm tired of it. And I would rather continue being the best soldier I can, which turned out to be not that great. My friend may have accidentally transformed into a slightly terrifying demon, which forced us to defect. But one of the big three, Soma, also defected, and it turns out so did his brother. So maybe my past heroes were not all they cracked up to be. I wish I could say things went well from there, but somehow myself, Dira, and Treya were transported 10 years in the future, while Gaiju, Dahlia, and our new friend Apollo were left behind. For us, no time had passed, but the rest of Horiath was stuck living in the past 10 years searching for us. We finally found each other just as Geneva, another of the big three, found us and was not very friendly. A few murders later, and we were free of her wrath. Soma found us again, and I'm glad he did. He's not as bad as Dahlia makes him seem. In fact, I think he's pretty sweet, and not too bad looking. Oh, and he gave me a gorgeous locket before leaving again. I guess I'm able to talk to him through it, which is nice. Anyways, Horiath ventured to the Shadowfell to save Apollo, who's now Hades, from Dahlia and Silic's evil grandfather. I was again hounded with that peace or war question. Obviously, peace is not an answer in our line of work as trouble keeps finding us. I think war might be our only option to protect my team, who has taught me what a family should be. Honestly, I can't even imagine my life without them. I've gone through a few changes recently. I couldn't tell at first, but the team seemed pretty concerned. I don't know why, since it's just a little hair and makeup change. Well, maybe my eyes changed a bit as well, but it's not that noticeable. At least Soma seems to like it.
Did anyone order a cleric with a side of sass? If so, I'm Dahlia Ablon. Wow, how do I keep this short and sweet? I grew up in the poor sector of New Averant and took care of Papa after my mother died when I was 6. Papa was not well after she passed, so I bounced around waitressing and spent any of my free time at the Temple of Kokobiel since he helped me feel close to my mama. But it was hard making ends meet as a barmaid, so after some encouragement from my best friend Silic, I enlisted as a cleric in the Order of the Fallen Star. Next thing I know, I'm across the realm with a team of strangers that have quickly become my family. Sounds pretty straightforward, right? Ready for things to take a sharp left? Okay, let's see. Turns out Kokobiel, the goddess of moon and stars, is not the most virtuous angel that we thought, and well, neither is New Averant. After defecting from the church and the government, I learned that Gladlin, the god of fate, is only a slightly less destructive hot mess. And now we're on god number 3, Halasna, goddess of sun and life. As Horiath now travels the world as adventurers for hire. So far, so good there. I would totally hate if something bad were to happen to her. Oh wait, there's more. How could I forget? Turns out my mother descends from a long line of devil royalty, and not just any royalty, the Deimos clan, aka the Lord of the Shadowfell. My lineage gives me this devil form I can transform into, a natural foresight gift, or curse if you ask me, and a boatload full of family drama. I discovered I have a half-brother named Silic. Yeah, that's Silic. My mother at some point has been resurrected from the dead, and oh yeah, Deimos wants to use me as a conduit for his armies to infiltrate and conquer the Aberrant Realm. Almost forgot to mention that part, it kinda haunts my dreams a lot. But it's not all doom and gloom in my world, promise. No, really. I have wonderful friends, hilarious and fun adventures, and I may have just met the love of my life amidst it all. Jodakash is the only person I've ever met to stand right in the face of danger and swing his sword without a second thought. With as much fire and brimstone looming over our heads, I couldn't imagine living in a world without him and our friends by my side, and keeping me sane. So whatever new Aberrant, the gods, Deimos, or fate seem to have planned for all of us, I know that Harai will be ready to face it together. Because if we go down, we won't go down without a fight. We got this, right? Right?
Every group has its dark and mysterious member, and to Harai...
Alright, welcome back to the Nerdy Playbook. We're back with Blaze Bahamut. Happy Tuesday. Before we begin, do not forget that we are still doing Games Outreach to the end of the month. Link is right beneath the screen at our logo. Any money you go helps any kids that are currently hospitalized to have some entertainment via video games. So all that goes right to there. There are some rewards for that as far as possibly make yourself a hero in there, giving the players advantage, stuff like that. Outside of that, no major other news right now, unless anybody's got anything. Cool. We're gonna go into
work here.
just work here. Intro time.
Else will pregame the carnival
Welcome back.
for approximately 8 hours.
All right. Per usual, I just want to make sure it sounds good. All right, looks good. All right. So last we left off, the team themselves eventually made their way finally out of any kind of harm's reach and made it to a certain destination point where they start seeing many fireworks and different spells flying in the air to a festival that is very relatable to Day of the Dead. Heading through, it was decided that make your way in, and then that Gaju would break the ice, so to speak, with his mother. But during the whole procession, Medicana decided to take it upon herself to sneak in and try to peek over, with Apollo being Apollo and transforming them back and creating some ruckus. With the last thing that happened in the last session, immediately with the mother just immediately grabbing and pulling her in. So, gotcha. As you immediately see your mom just immediately just yank the now regular form of Medicana back in, and he immediately doesn't even care about the other one. Immediately just shuts the window and immediately closes the blinds. The fuck you doing? Get in here. She starts putting it in, starts leading you both in to the original destination. Open up the door, leading to the house. Esmeralda just kind of kicking rocks, looking down. Looks like she's about to like say something. Like, no. I don't care about what's out there. March. Go. And not even taking a second thought into actually who's actually the second body outside the window. As
giving her a smirk.
As you both all three of you make it into the house portion of the business. As she closes the door, locks the outside portion in, so if anybody gets in the business, they can't get into the house. And immediately starts lighting up a couple candles to the place. Immediately goes over and kind of moves some pillows off the couch a little bit. Well, what are you two doing? Sit. I'm not going to just stand here the whole time. Sit.
Quickly sit.
Okay, Matakana immediately just slaps her ass on the couch, just being quiet. Immediately, she just kind of has like a little bit of watery eyes. Both my children home. I'd like to ask why, but I'm just going to take it in for a second. All right. The fuck you doing here?
Nice to see you too, Mom.
Well, it is nice to see you, but I would like to say that you've been gone for some time. I hope for the best. But let's just say life has been giving me all sorts of disappointment lately. So I'm going to plan for disappointment, but expect something better. So.
I mean, I'm mostly here because I'm done running, and it's time I came home. So, I'm gonna do what I can to clear my name so that I can keep it that way.
She immediately just starts walking up to you. She just drops on one knee, so she's at level with you since you're sitting on the couch. I'm glad you're back. I really am. As she just puts her hands on yours, and she gives like a head-to-head forehead kind of thing like that, and I absolutely missed you with all my heart. And then once again, as a surprise, she just smacks you in the back of the head. You're still wanted! And you came here.
What else did you want me to do?
How are you planning to get this fixed? You've been gone for a long time. Your face is still plastered over certain spots of town. You can't really walk around normally, but
I have a few ways around that. If I'm being honest, in my travels, I never found any information that would help me with clearing my name. I think at this point, the only thing that I could do was come home and hope that maybe I find something here.
Emily just is still having her palms on your palms. Looks over at Matakana. The other one outside. Yeah? Who is she? Mia looks at you. Who's the other one outside?
That me?
Yeah.
Okay. A close friend? He's not gonna say girlfriend because he hasn't been confirmed that, so...
It kind of just keeps quiet. Friend. Well, are we fond of this friend? Medicon just kind of shakes her head quietly. Looks around at the place. Well, I guess if it's just one, we can let her come in.
So, about that, I actually have a few more friends with me.
She immediately just like takes her palms off yours and stands up. What are a few?
How many of us are there? I don't even know.
If you include Soma, Treya,
Six?
yeah, you're looking at 6.
7.
7 with Dad?
7. Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Including Medicona's friend, that would be 8.
Dad's a whole different topic.
8. She immediately just kind of like crosses her arm. Are you coming to see me, or are you trying to find somewhere to stay?
I'm here to see you, but if that... You're welcome to say no. But these are very special and important people to me, and I would like you to meet them all, especially a couple of them.
Alright. Bring them on the back. I don't want the neighbors to see that we got a mess of people coming in. I'll go put on a pot. I think I got something I can scrounge up.
I'll kind of look at Medicana and then look back at Mom. Before we bring them in, I'm so sorry, my voice is dying.
It's alright. It's extra dramatic.
Amazing. We love the emotions. Before I bring them in, when you asked me to originally leave to save myself, I made you a promise that I would look for Dad and do what I could to bring him home.
You don't need to tell me. I know he's passed. I know he's gone.
Yes and no. He did die. But my group was able to bring him back. And he's actually recovering in the caravan outside.
Like, almost like she's, like, lost for words, like...
Yay, awkward family!
Alright, well... okay. Well, yeah, it's, okay. Oh yeah, come on, bring him in.
Alright. Medicona, do you want to help Mom kind of make sure everything's in place while I get the others?
As, like, she, like, starts shaking her head as you start walking, she holds your hands, like, don't leave me with her.
That's your problem. You just keep walking.
As she immediately, as your mom immediately is like, come on, girl, help me out with some of this stuff. If you got all your friends over here, at least help out clean up the place.
Sorry, not sorry, Medicana. I guess I will
go ahead.
take the back route.
Okay. Yeah, there's a back door that's also like there's a back door to the house that matches the back door to the business that is also for like where they like get like inventory in, but it's like an alleyway that only leads to their house, so it's kind of like a little secretive kind of like a way that most people don't go down unless it's maybe like someone who's bad on times.
Okay. So I guess I will kind of walk back around to the front. I will obscure my face just because I'm back out in public.
Okay.
Hi, Crunchy. Kind of poke my head around, wave to the others.
Okay, you all see a somewhat familiar Gaju waving out of this small little darkened corner behind the building.
If you would like to come inside, you're welcome to.
What should we do with the wagon?
Is there space in the alleyway to come?
There is not. I'll say Soma kind of just speaks up and he's just like, well, you guys go spend time with the family. I'll go take the cart and I'll go find a spot to hang out until you guys are ready.
Alright. Be safe. Don't get yourself caught.
Oh, I'll do my best. As immediately he just like plays around with his necklace as he turns into what looks just like a regular like nonchalant citizen and just starts moving the carriage out of the way.
I will get my dad out of the carriage first.
He just takes Dad out.
We forgot the cargo.
Oh no!
I'm already helping, like lift him. I don't know if he's.
So
Is he still like
no,
out,
he's
or...
he's like in and out of it. Like he's like he kind of notices that something's going on, so his eyes are kind of opening as you guys start to grab him. He's just like, "What's happening? Why'd we stop? Where are we going?"
We're home, Dad.
Home?
Yes. We brought you home.
Wait. Oh. Okay. Oh, your mother's gonna be pissed. Okay. Hang on one
Easy there.
second.
I deserve it.
We got you. It's all right.
Alright.
I'll help Dira with Zarmir.
Okay.
And I'll kind of lead them through the back, grabbing Cammy as we go.
Okay.
Get your ass in here.
Hi. Okay. Sorry. Alright. She starts like following, like totally not expecting to actually be let in. As if you guys start heading inside, you immediately start getting into a procession of a smell now entered into the building or into the house itself. Smells like some kind of stew of some kind. And you also smell something of tea that is aromaing the place. And then a lot of... You hear like high-paced like footwork of the place. And if you kind of come around the corner, you see Cammy's been... not Cammy. Metacon has been set up with like a big huge apron and like cleaning gloves. And she just like looks at you. You brought more friends and I'm the one who's cleaning. Thanks. As she just like goes around, she's really trying to get off like one little smudge off of like something.
I owe you.
Do you bring Zarmir into sight right away, or do you kind of have him in the back? Like let the rest of the group kind of come in and then kind of have Zarmir in the back?
I don't know. I assume we would probably want to sit him like on the couch or something, so...
Okay.
We're following your lead.
Okay. As you kind of...
I guess lead just people in and let you guys set him on the couch.
Okay. As you all start coming in, you can kind of hear her working in like the actual kitchen area. She's like, sorry I can't be out there right now. I'll be out there in a second, just whipping up some, food and some. I hope everybody's good with tea and some leftover stew. I'll be out there in a minute.
Mom, please don't strain yourself.
Yeah, all right, sir. There we go. Easy. There we go.
He kind of like sits back and he's just like, he's just like, all right. You can kind of hear like a pop go back into his shoulder. Oh god, that smarts. As you can kind of still see like the healing effect still taking over him. He's like now in the process of like the colorization is almost fully back, but he just kind of looks a little withered at this point. As if essentially at this point, she starts coming out and she like grabs like a tray of glasses that are filled with what you assume is hot tea. She starts walking out. All right, well I don't know what you all like, but I grabbed.
Catch the tray.
As you immediately go over and catch the tray,
I get my mom.
I take a tea glass and just.
Thanks.
Everyone, this is my mother, Nillian. Mom, this is Zephania, Dira, and Hades. And Mom, this is my fiance, Dahlia.
At first, when you're saying off the names, she just is like listening in the background as she's focusing on Zarmir, and she's like, oh yeah, hi. And immediately when you say that, she's just like, fiance. The hell? As immediately she goes over by Zarmir, and not even really taking account of how injured she is, she immediately grabs him and starts shaking him. Did you allow this? Do you even know anything about her? Yeah, that hurts. Please. I can't move.
Also Trey and Cammy.
Oh yeah, those two.
Yeah. Greetings, hi. Fiance. Shimi like looks at you up and down. And she
Hi, I'm Dahlia.
Hello. She immediately just kind of gets up and she immediately just kind of wipes off the apron. She quicks. God, do I look like a mess? As she starts like untying the apron, she kind of puts it off. She immediately goes into like a mirror.
Mom,
So it's
you're
like,
fine.
While she's fixing herself, when she turns around, Dahlia starts fixing herself.
She was just standing there with a tray of tea going, what is wrong with these people? They're family, they don't need to dress up.
She immediately just kind of looks around like, all right, bear with me for a minute. There's a lot of emotions right now. My son's back. My what I thought was that spouse is back, and my son's engaged, and I got a lot of strangers in my home.
Would you like to sit down?
I keep taking the tray around, and ma'am, maybe you should take a rest and let us help out a bit.
She immediately just sits down in what you assume is like one of her chairs, as she just kind of puts it down a little bit, and she's just like,
I hand her tea.
She immediately just like starts drinking it. She's immediately, she starts spitting it out. She's like, this is not a time for tea. As she immediately puts it down, she immediately runs over it in the back a little bit, and she starts pouring something else. As you start getting a smell of like alcohol, she starts bringing it out.
I'm so sorry.
And then you see it, and then she kind of like spikes each tea to make it kind of like her own version of like a hot toddy.
I'll drink that shit.
Thank you, ma'am. Once everybody's got their cup, I'll just kind of set the tray aside and find a place to perch.
Immediately, Meta kind of goes for her, and she's like, no, not for you. And she immediately takes it back, and she puts it on the side. Well, this is cause for celebration, as Zarmir kind of like sits Susan unconscious for a bit. She's like, wait, what's wrong with him?
There seems to be a lot of strain with reviving him. I don't know all the specifics. Dahlia is a cleric and Dira is a paladin, but even their powers are limited in this situation. No offense.
Then how was he brought back?
No, I'm limited.
Well, I did a spell and it worked. But it is taking a little bit longer to restore full health, but slowly but surely. It's just going to take a little time.
She looks at you with now surprising and exciteful eyes as she just stands up. She puts her drink down.
Okay.
She takes your drink from you and she just sets it down.
Oh, okay.
As she puts her hands on yours and holds them tight with a grip that you did not expect from her, as she just looks at you. I don't
Ow,
know
my
anything
fingers.
about you, but you brought my son to me, and you brought my husband back to me. And she immediately pulls you in for a really, really tight hug.
I give everyone a thumbs up as I hug back.
He's like, good job.
80's in there.
It's like the hiccup meme, just...
She made
I
like
imagine
a-
it's like a mom hug too, which I really need right
yeah,
now. So
it's
I'm all
it's like
for
that
it.
extra warmth, but like the overall tightness that like where they want to squeeze like the ribs, kind of like push them in real tight, kind of thing like that.
My wounds from the temple are aching, but I will not utter a squeak.
She just like looks at you. She's like, "You look exhausted. Why don't I make up a bed for anybody who needs to get some rest? You got a couple extra rooms. You look like most of you have had a trying time. Let me, if y'all don't mind, like I said, this is a lot of things going on at once, and I'd like to spend time with my husband and cure any of his ailments that are currently afflicting him, and do what I can, and obviously spend some more time with my children." But she immediately looks back at Dahlia. "I'd love for us to spend some time together so I can know you. But
Okay.
she just like looks
I
at
wasn't
you
excited. Okay.
as she puts both hands over one of your hands. So she just looks at you. She's like, "Do not worry. You've already done enough. You cannot sway me any other way."
Okay.
As she's like, so, as like she started noticing that Metacon is taken off the apron, she's like, "Dear, can you set up some rooms for our guests?" God damn it.
I've got it.
Oh, well, appreciate it.
I'll go in the back and, like, clear out some rooms and also look at the state of what my old room looks like, because I haven't seen it since I was 18.
It has not changed, not even a bit. It
Oh,
is
God.
exactly the way you left it.
Oh.
Oh,
It-
boy.
It looks like there are like maybe points, and like Metacon kind of comes over by you. She kind of mentions, "Yeah, she didn't want to change anything. I'll be honest, it was a couple times when I came in here, and there was some of your shit I kind of wanted, and she wouldn't let me take it. So thank Mom for not changing anything."
I want to, like, flick her on the back of the head.
God damn it! That's gonna create a sore in the morning, and she starts walking away.
You've got thick skin, shot it. I honestly don't know what he would have owned at 18 because his family was pretty fucking broke. But if there's something he probably would have deemed, like, embarrassing from being just a child, he's probably gonna just toss it in, like, drawers and be like, "Oh god, we're not gonna address that right
Okay,
now." And then go on to the other rooms and get them all set up.
sure. Okay. I'd say as far as like, especially with the area, even for someone who doesn't have that much money, to have like a few extra really, really tiny rooms is not uncommon. So you could have like 3 spare rooms. Granted, each bed in each room is going to be the size of like a twin size. So some people might sleep on the floor. Some people can't really bunk up together. So it's just going to be like some people get the bed and some people don't. But yeah, you're able to set up the few rooms. And not too much effort put into it since most of them have not been used in some time.
When I'm done, I'll come back.
Okay. As you can see, when you come back, she's starting to kind of like, she put like a blanket over Zarmir. And,
Is he like passed out by
yeah,
now?
he's pretty much passed out. As she kind of like laid him comfortably on the couch. Well, all of you feel free to get some rest. Obviously, my home is your home. I would not allow you to go spend some money on an inn, especially at this time. They're way too expensive. Feel free to get some rest tonight, and we'll tackle whatever issues we need to tackle in the morning.
Thank you, ma'am.
You are quite welcome. It's a pleasure to meet you all, and I'm sorry that it was not under better circumstances. She just kind of...
on me.
She just starts like, while Zarmir's sleeping, she just kind of like is like sitting next to him, kind of moves the chair closer and just kind of like gently caressing his hair as he's like laying there, curled up in his blanket.
So Dira's just gonna follow Gaju to whatever flat surface is designated hers and go splat.
Okay.
Same for Z.
There's a little concern about Dira sleeping in her armor, but you know what? She's done it before, so I'm not gonna do nothing. So.
Medicana and Cammy
Armor
go in their
boots,
own
she'll
room.
deal with it in the morning.
When we get to Gaju's room, I'm immediately looking for like the sexy boy band posters or anything on the wall. Where are they?
God. They've probably been shoved in a drawer, if there are any.
Is there a body pillow in the closet?
I have no idea. Again, this boy, he joined the Royal Guard at 18. He was taking care of his mom for 3 years before that. I don't know what he has.
So body pillow of the prince.
That's getting burned.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Okay.
Ben, we need you to come up with names of some boy bands.
I'm trying to think of them on the fly right now. Like I'm trying to make some like weird versions of like NSYNC or Backstreet Boys or something like that.
The back alley boys.
Back Alley Boys, yeah. Although that could be interpreted in a different way, but yes.
Hey, don't worry. Dirty Mike and the boys.
Backstreet Barbarians.
Amazing.
Work on it.
He's got it.
You got
He's got it. Great.
Well, it's nothing as elegant as your room was, but yeah. This is where I grew up.
I mean, it's no different than mine back home. Well, not really.
Fair enough.
It is consistently always loud that you can hear in here due to the festival that's going on outside. Even though you guys are not near it, it really takes over a lot of sound in the town. Not enough for it's going to stop you guys from sleeping, but it's enough that's like occasionally like a firework like explodes and interrupts your conversation. It's like, give me a second, you know, kind of like that to finish your statement or something like that. But yeah. What do you guys want to do before you go to sleep?
I really kind of want to find the food. It smells so good, but I don't want to be rude and go wander in her kitchen when she just kind of let us in.
I got you.
Thank you.
Once I make sure that Dira and Dahlia are going the fuck to sleep, I will come back out and make sure everyone else is taken care of. So if Zephinia's looking a little hungry, he's gonna grab her and take her to the kitchen.
Okay. You're gonna
Dira,
find
at this point, you basically make sure she gets horizontal. This is the only problem.
Is she still breathing? Okay, we're good.
Okay. The pot that was being cooked up, it smells amazing, but it's definitely very much motherly doctored it up. It's as much as it's a stew, it's a little too expensive for her to get fresh meat, so it's mostly just a lot of gravy over what looks like some broth and then some potatoes and some carrots with a few pieces of leftover meat inside. Other than that, it's mostly a meatless stew.
I
smell it, and it smells delicious. Do you think she has the recipe for this?
I'm sure she does, otherwise you're welcome to ask her.
Wait up
She
a minute.
loves cooking.
I might, because I think I want to make this on the ship for you guys.
Okay.
This is gonna be her
I'll probably
retirement. She's gonna
also-
become a cook.
We love this for her. Opens up her own bakery or something.
Right?
I will also have a bowl of stew.
As you both eat the stew, Zephynia, as you're trying to understand the ingredients in it as you eat it, give me just either an insight check or a perception check, essentially trying to investigate as you eat of like how the food is made.
Let's do perception. Spooky 20.
Okay. As you're eating it, you're definitely noticing that without maybe the specific recipe that she used to make this could be a very much a peasant kind of meal. But the way that she made it really makes it elevated. Because realistically, the main ingredients is just chopped up potatoes, carrots, a little bit of what looks like just plain old gravy. But the broth is really what seems to be the signature piece in this. It seems like whatever she does to make the broth, it seems like she uses her own custom kind of seasonings. And it definitely tastes of like some kind of pork base. But you cannot understand the seasonings that are made with it. Maybe it's because you never encountered them before, but you can definitely tell the essential basic components. You just don't know the detailed parts that really elevate the stew.
I'm slyly looking around her kitchen to see if I can see spices.
You do notice that there is a sort of like an old-fashioned kind of like grandmotherly kind of style like spice rack against the wall. Most of them, with the exception of two, are kind of homemade jars. Like maybe she makes them herself, or she gets them from like some kind of like maybe farmer's market kind of vendor. But they have symbols on them that you don't recognize. They're mostly kind of they're very similar to kind of like symbols as if like they're representing the periodic table of elements, but they all have like two letters that represent something. With the exception of one that you can assume is maybe parsley, and it's just put as P, and then it has like kind of like almost like kind of an underscore symbol on it. You can't really discern what the rest of them are, but you can definitely tell that two of them seem to be the seasonings that you're looking for. One of them, as you investigate it, definitely seems to have kind of like more of a maybe a kind of like a almost kind of like similar to chili powder, but it's almost kind of roasted. And another one that seems very similar to what looks like almost kind of like a basil, but it seems almost kind of more citrusy.
I'm gonna store that in my memory and meal from scratch. That is probably gonna taste disgusting, but I'm gonna try my hardest.
Okay. You
When I'm
can.
back on the ship, not right now.
The one other thing you notice in them is it looks like you can tell where she bought these two from, and it does have actually a business tag on the back of it, and it's specifically. Pull up all the businesses of the town. Altier's Herbs.
Got it.
And much like the other logos, it's mostly fine print, but the main logo is AH. But yeah.
Okay. After I eat my food and explore the kitchen, I'm gonna head on up to one of the rooms and get some rest.
Okay. All right.
Does someone come back? Does he return to us or take the
Someone-
locket
I
and
should
bolt?
probably check on him.
Soma
I'm gonna
wasn't
take
no
the
Soma
locket.
Soma wasn't planning to come back. He was planning to take the cart somewhere and then stay somewhere else.
I'm still gonna take the locket just before I go to sleep. Did you find a safe spot?
You don't get a response right away. It actually takes a few minutes. And then you get a response. Yeah, I mean, I found a spot. It's definitely very crowded around town. But I found a spot, and it's definitely secure for the cart and the animals. Just let me know whenever you want me to come back. I am just going to stay over here for the night, and I will just keep this near me for whenever you're ready. Hopefully you have a restful night.
There's like silence, just like, well, there are rooms here.
Well, I don't want to intrude, and it's probably better that I keep my eyes, just in case, on the cart. I made sure I got a room that kind of looks directly right at it. But if you want me to come back, I can come back.
I mean, it's up to you. There's spots here if you want them, but either or.
He's like, okay, well, if it's not an intrusion, yeah, I'll start heading my way back. I can probably be there in maybe 10 minutes. Yeah, I'll be there in a little bit.
I'll see you soon. Okay. Then she'll go back downstairs.
Okay. All right. Anybody else before sleep other than Soma's return?
What's Hades doing?
I think he's just kind of taking it all in. He's reading the room, so he's kind of just being quiet. Like, there's a lot going on, so he's just trying to stay out of the way.
I'll go check on my bro.
Okay.
You guys have unleashed something, just FYI. Hold on 1 second.
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
You all brought this on yourselves. And there you go. Okay.
Val, like, what did you do?
Okay. Anyway, so he's just like probably hanging out in just like one of the side rooms, I guess.
Okay. You doing alright?
Oh, yeah, yes, I'm fine. Are you doing okay?
I'm managing. This is much more awkward than I intended, but that is very much me, so...
I mean, I hate to break it to you, but you did just show up after years with your expectedly dead father and your fiancé and sister and her... we're not quite sure what, but, you know, and a large gaggle of friends, so it's a lot for your mother, and it's understandable.
Yes. I just didn't know what to expect if we gave her a heads up. So.
Probably more shoes coming at you.
Just has a catapult ready before the door opens and just shoots out like a bunch of shoes.
She just has the catapult spell ready. I was gonna be like, and you're welcome for the whole thing with your sister, by the way.
Oh, that was you.
Just
Excellent. A bit. I should have known.
Figured you need a distraction.
I mean, if she hadn't, it probably would have gone the same, to be honest, but doesn't hurt to take a little bit of the attention off.
Well, it's... I guess the ball's in our court after this. What do you think? How should we go about moving forward? I mean, either we clear everyone's name, we need to figure out how to clear your name, right?
We do. I would honestly say it would be for the best if we worked on clearing all of your names, so that way it's not a bunch of people going around the cities with wanted bounties and stuff. A little easier if it's just one or two people. I don't think we'll ever clear Soma's, but it's a problem for another time.
I mean, I suppose we could do like we did in the one town with the fake mustaches and, just moving through the... it worked for at least half a day.
Not so much on Dahlia.
Mustache.
I mean, she pulled it off all right.
Sorry, I had to. I realize maybe mustaches aren't for me, but you look great with yours, so...
Well, I mean, and there was the whole incident where your two mustaches got stuck together after the kiss, and...
And this is why I have spells for this.
Well...
But no, I don't know if it would be better off to send you all in disguise to clear your names, and better for me to stay behind just in case, but I don't know. I suppose that's something that we can run by everyone tomorrow after that.
Well, I mean, do you suppose that, I hate to say it, but to send Manakana to present the notion of the doppelgangers being us, and them trying to make it seem like we were criminals, and to clear her name and to say, I caught these other ones portraying to be these other people, and they had nothing to do with it.
It's possible. I mean, Metacona worked in the kingdom much longer than I did, so maybe if we run it by her, she might have ideas about if it would work or not, but...
Have some more connections than we would.
Idea. Yeah. I would say run it by the group, run it by her, go from there. Worst case, if either just she goes or all of you go, I could attempt to do some snooping around. I don't know what to expect at this point.
I suppose it also begs the question of how heavy of a presence the country has of security here during this time, and it did happen to see that there's a lot of masks and costumes out there at this current celebration, so we could get around a little easier right now.
At least in this town. I don't know how that will affect surrounding ones, but...
Oh, but my point being that we don't have to have it pressing right this minute, and we might be able to catch our breath for a second.
Yes. No, I agree. So, who knows? Maybe tomorrow we talk things out. I'm sure the girls will want to check out the festival. If you want to as well, we can.
How long has it been since you've been in town by chance?
Probably 18 years.
Well, then perhaps this is a better question for your mother then, and I'll ask her later. Nothing pressing or important.
Alright. We'll figure it out. In the meantime, are you just gonna be resting, or...?
I don't think I have any other options currently. What time of day is it, Joe? Is it late, early?
It's night. It's probably about midnight.
Yeah, hello, it's big. I'll probably be trying to catch some sleep and perhaps do some things in the morning. We shall see.
Alright, well, I will leave you to that then. I'm sure my mother wants to speak some more anyway, so...
Well, yes, I would highly recommend, if you get the chance, go spend some time with Delia. You guys need it right now.
I don't know all of the specifics, but I do know there is something up, so...
It's not my place to say anything, but just spend some time together. You could use each other.
Always do. I'll kind of give Hades a pat on the shoulder and kind of
just gives that half-assed, like half smirk, and kind of goes about setting up like a bedroll on the ground, because he's bigger with his wings.
Fair enough. I guess in that case I will go out into the living area and see what my family needs help with or whatever.
Okay. At this point, it looks like your mother's giving your father like complete undivided attention, even though he is asleep. And it looks like she's actually kind of set up her chair to actually like be able to sleep next to him while he's on the couch. Outside of that, Medicana is already in her old room with Cammy, and it looks like everybody's kind of already called it.
Yeah, I guess I will just make sure that my mother is fully settled and comfortable where she is. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to convince her to actually go to bed. So, yeah, make sure she's got, like, some water or tea or a blanket, stuff like that. I'll give her a kiss on the top of her head and head back to my room then.
Okay.
I don't know if Dolly is asleep yet or not.
It's up to Dahlia.
I would say she fought sleep at first, but she's probably passed out.
Yeah,
by the time
you're
you
under
come back.
exhaustion. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I will... I think he might sit in his thoughts for a little bit, but then end up just laying down beside her and making sure that she stays comfortable for the night. Call it there.
Okay. With most of the candles off, Zafini, you get a message from Soma. You guys are still at the house, right? I'm not at the wrong place.
Right here, and I'm gonna like peek out the back alleyway.
Oh, can I come in? It looks like everybody's asleep. I don't want to.
Yep. No, come on in.
Oh,
Just shh.
okay. And he starts like trying to sneak as much as he can as he. It's like the door's locked. I don't want to have to break into your. Yeah, I don't want to break in.
I peer out like the back door area, like. Where are you?
Oh. And he's just kind of like, wrong location. And he immediately just starts running back over as he comes over and finds you. All right. All right. And he starts following you in.
She like very awkwardly, well, this way. That's.
Oh, okay.
Gaiju's mom and dad are.
Oh.
Are and that's their kitchen and their spices and. There's where Dahlia and Gaiju are staying, and that's where Tira is staying, and that's where Nada, Kana, and Cammy are staying, and there's rooms or here.
Okay. Really small rooms and a single bed. Is that all right?
I mean, I can stay on the floor.
No.
Okay.
It wouldn't be right for you to be on the floor. I'll sleep on the floor. You lay in the bed. I've slept in much more uncomfortable places. It's perfectly fine. As he immediately takes his sword and he kind of like leans it up against the wall.
He's like awkwardly taking blankets and pillows to make a little area for him.
He like takes, and at this point it's not even like a whole sword. He like takes off like your half sword and his half sword and he kind of like puts it up against the wall. Starts like rearranging the
cry a little bit when she sees her broken sword, but it's okay.
It's like, okay, well, he kind of like tries to rearrange it in a certain way, and he kind of gives himself a really, really huge open space. All right, and he kind of quick like leans up, and he quick tries to take a kiss as quick as possible, and he quick like lays back down on the ground.
She kind of stands there for a bit. Okay, good night! And then lays down. You guys just hear really loudly, okay, good night! Everything else was quiet, but that.
Yep.
Well, okay, good night.
Alright. So, during the rest that everyone has, we're gonna go around, see who we hit as far as certain people. Dira.
Yes.
You do not have as much of enjoyable sleep as you'd like. Toss and turning, whether it's the comfort of sleeping with armor on, or maybe a different location, maybe it's the area, you don't know. But you keep twisting and turning due to a dream that you're constantly having. It's very vague. You see what looks like a large event going on. But you have tunnel vision towards what the prize is. Unknown why you're so fixated on this thing, you happen to see inside the case is what looks like, at first glance, looks like a longsword that's made out of what looks like just straight glass. Has no coloration to it, doesn't look like it's metal. You can see right through it. If it wasn't for the shape of it, you wouldn't be able to see it at all. It does have a certain kind of reflective quality on it that makes it have some kind of magic properties as far as looking at it at first glance. But if you like wake up like every half an hour, you keep reliving this thing over and over again. You keep being fixated on this one specific thing. But you don't know why. If you want, during this process, about halfway through your sleep, you can give me a perception check to see if you can try to register anything in the area.
Yeah, good luck with that. 14.
14. You're able to at least discern some of the area. You can tell wherever you're at is some kind of what looks like almost kind of like a challenge arena at some kind of a fair. Looks like there's people, maybe whether they're knighted or not, that are planning to do certain kind of duels against each other. See jousting that's about to take place, and it looks like this is the main prize of it all. But you don't see much further than that.
Okay. Noted. Thank you.
Everybody else has a long rest. You're all good. Gadju, you can choose if you want to wake up the 4 hours earlier and mosey around if you like, or if you just want to stay in bed with Dahlia.
I think he might, like, go quickly outside and check and make sure that his family's still doing good. If nothing's happening, he'll go back in with Dahlia.
You don't see anything happening. It looks like they are still asleep.
Okay. Back in the room then.
Okay. Alright. Everybody can hit the long rest button. As the sun is fully risen, the sound is down now starting to take over, as noontime is about when the festival resumes. Fireworks aren't being shot off since it's daytime, but you definitely hear mostly kind of as all the streets, the whole town is like the festival, so you're kind of hearing the streets busyness, kind of like almost like Mardi Gras, where like everybody's kind of like drinking in the streets right now and having a party during the daytime and stuff like that. As you start hearing the specific words of the Laresm festival, of what this is called, as this is apparently a full week event that is both honoring the dead that has passed, but also a way to honor the current king and queen by several tournaments in their honor. But you are all awake. Whether or not you had a restful sleep or not, you are still awake. You all have your long rest. You're all back to normal, no exhaustion. And a new day in front of you. if you decided to immediately wake up after the 8 hours, it's probably about just before 10 o'clock, unless you wanted to kind of milk it for a little bit longer, then it'd be about noon.
Sneak my way downstairs
Okay.
for food.
Sneaking a little boy with you.
Yeah, Soma sneaks with you as you re-sheathes the swords, and he starts to follow you as you see that there is you smell what smells like some kind of egg breakfast.
I'm sorry, you guys weren't reading the chat. So we made a joke about sheathing swords.
Oh. As you can smell, there's some kind of like egg breakfast, but as soon as you get downstairs, you see that there's a note right at the bottom of the steps that's specifically left for family and friends. It basically says, "Help yourself. Food is all made. Plates are all set. We will be back. We'll be back shortly."
Just mom is awesome.
As you can see, that there looks like a giant pan that's on the stove that's currently on a slow cook that has like some eggs on it, and it looks like it has some kind of liquid on top. Maybe based off the coloration, you assume it's maybe some kind of a chili oil or something like that that's on top of it. And then you see that since she didn't know that anybody ate the stew the previous night, she also reheated the stew and put it back on the actual fireplace. And there's plates and there's everything all set, and then you can see that she's got what looks like not a very nice way of doing it, but looks like she's got kind of a setup for a 1, 2, 3 process to make your own coffee, where it looks like there's a pot of boiling water, there's some ingredients to make your own coffee, and it's kind of put on the side.
I'm gonna go grab plates and dish out food and sit down at the table.
Okay.
I will join her gladly with some food.
Okay.
Oh, it smells good.
You can definitely tell that her, at least current food that she's making right now, is definitely something where she likes to include spice. Not so much so that it's overpowering, but enough where it's like you can't not taste it. It's enough accent to the actual food itself. But it is definitely an interesting combo. A lot of protein and a lot of starch. What about the rest of the group?
I guess we show up at some point. I don't know, Gaiju. What are we doing?
Medicana and Cami are still in the room. They're not getting out.
Oh, I bet they're busy.
Good for them. I don't know. I guess it would depend on how Dahlia slept and if she says anything that morning.
Slept like a rock.
Understandable.
I think next morning she will be oddly chipper. As though shit that happened yesterday didn't happen. So she'll be like, I think the others are up. I guess we should go down and get the breakfast.
If food is what you want, that's fine by me. He's definitely gonna notice he's not gonna say anything right now.
Can I tell
so
he's
I guess-
being weird?
You could give me an insight check.
I mean, is he trying to hide it though?
So
I mean, I don't know if he's really trying to hide anything. He knows shit's up. He's not gonna pry unless she's open to having that conversation. So I guess it's kind of honesty of like unspoken, I'm here for you, but if you don't want to talk about it, do what you want to do.
Probably like be like getting ready and like look over at him like if he's staring or something, or just like being quiet, and she's just like, what?
You're quite chipper today.
Yeah, we're at your mother's and everyone's here, and there's a festival going on, and we should go check it out.
Alright. There's not any other reason for the chippiness?
No. Well, no. I mean, we're gonna go do some cool stuff today, right? Spend time with your mother and your father and your sister and your potential future sister-in-law. And our friends.
I don't know what to do with that. Alright.
Me neither. She tried to kill me, so.
You suddenly hear the squeaking of beds right upstairs.
Friends, alright?
Oh my god, it's the synchronized face palms for me.
I'm so giving her shit for that later.
Noted. The walls are really thin here.
Okay, let's go get breakfast.
Okay.
I'm just pointing out the obvious.
I mean, I could have told you that. Breakfast!
Okay.
Just gonna lead the way down.
As you see the similar note that everybody else saw of help yourself, we'll be back shortly. As you notice that not only is your mother gone, but your father's gone as well. But it looks like the couch is re-cleaned up, the chair is repositioned, and it looks like they took enough time to at least re-set up the living room before they left.
I assume she's probably taken him out to do more healing and stuff.
Maybe.
Hades is coming down the stairs probably too, but he's like tucking his book away as he's walking down.
Wearing an alleyway use t-shirt on.
Found this in a chest somewhere. Soul bearings is the worst thing.
Also, it's like ye old Jinko jeans kind of thing on.
Yeah, they flare like crazy.
Stop. Raided Gaiju's closet from when he was 18.
Okay.
Well, good morning.
How did you all sleep?
Pretty good.
He just
Loaded.
makes his exact face at you.
What?
He's just like giving that like I'm calling your bullshit like look.
It's like, why do you even hide it
That's
anymore?
fine, given the circumstances.
Ophidia like awkwardly offers him a bowl of food that was sitting there. Food?
It's like okay. Thank you, Z. I appreciate that. Soma, when did you get here?
Oh, last night. Sorry, all of you must have been asleep.
Oh no, we heard.
Oh, okay. Well,
I didn't.
Heard what?
I tried to be quiet.
I assumed that was. Oh, I assumed that was the good night.
So,
Yes, I said goodnight to you all.
yep.
He just gives you the face now.
Someone's just like doing like the.
Proceeding, like-
Someone's just doing like the awkward little slurp off his coffee. Ooh, hot coffee,
Stuffing
hot
her
coffee,
face
hot
with
coffee.
food.
So you found a place for the wagon?
Yeah, found an inn about a block down. Very secure. If you want, I can go check up on it, but I paid
I
for
can do
3
that
days.
just as easy.
Okay.
Excellent.
So
Maybe you can find some pineapples around here and give them a treat.
I'm sure it's not hard to
Or
find.
give me a treat.
It would be nice to walk around the festival a little bit. Kind of see what there is.
Well, that is what I wanted to do. A little bit. It'd be fun to do something fun.
I know Hades and I kind of talked about that last night. I don't know if you guys want to just party it up or.
Perhaps a couple days of respite, perhaps, before we dive back into shenanigans.
I am entirely on board with that.
That actually sounds quite nice.
Alright. Partying it is. But not like what my sister is currently doing.
We hear it
Gross.
all the way downstairs.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah, no. That ain't partying.
Speak for yourself.
At this point, you hear
Mouthful of
a
it.
key pin unlock the front door. As the door opens, as you see Mother immediately walking in with Father kind of like holding up a cane, as it seems like he's got enough strength where he can at least walk, but not fully unassisted at this point. She's kind of got one arm over her shoulders. She's like, all right, we're almost there. As you can see, he's got like new clothes on, and she must have cleaned them up a little bit. He's got his hair tied a little bit. Sits him back down. You're all
Do they
up.
have any bags we can take to help?
It looks like they didn't buy anything, but she seems to have what looks like a small, like, satchel that has like a couple pieces of parchment that's hanging off of it, off the side of her shoulder. But other than that, nothing.
Are you two alright?
Oh yeah, we're doing fine. Your father just wanted to make sure he got some exercise. He was getting a little antsy. Thought it'd be good for him to get some.
Understandable.
As you can see, it's like almost like air has now filled up more of his body part. He looks like maybe half a day he'll be at least looking normal. And at this point, he just looks like he's just partially handicapped, and it'll just take its toll on him. But he still has like the damage to the one leg and stuff like that, so he still, has some natural. She looks, but we decided to get the lay of the lands out and decided to check out the festival. Normally, I don't give it any attention myself, but with the happiness, I decided to go for a walk, and well, it's everywhere, so couldn't help but take it in. There's actually quite a lot of fun games. Wouldn't be hurt to do something. As she kind of like starts like talking, she's like dropping down the satchel, and she's like taking off like an outer jacket, and she's like hanging it up, and then she's like switching it to like another like sweater and stuff like that, and she's putting on her apron. She's like switching some stuff around as she starts taking like a little 2 pieces of parchments out, and she lays them face down, and she hangs up the bag. She looks at you also. I decided to take it upon myself, with your father, of course, to try to do some research of how we can help you. You're back, and we want to make sure we can do what we can to see what we can do to see how we can take care of it. And we found out a couple things that might work for you. As she immediately flips over one sheet, and you can see that there is a tournament that's being held out throughout the week at the event, which is the Royal Kings Tournament. This tournament, whoever wins the overall tournament allows to get a full pardon of any kind of wrongdoing by the King and Queen. but it has to be by the person who actually wins. Can't do it for somebody else. The kick on it, though, it says you have to be a knight. She kind of just shows it to you. As you can kind of see, like, it's like a whole like pamphlet of like all knights wanted, come and get your prizes. You can start looking at it, and you can kind of start seeing everything of like all things. But you can tell that there is it shows different prize levels. The first prize is basically kind of like a wish to the king, which is can be a pardon as one of the things. Dear, as you're looking at, the second thing you see is the sword.
No way.
What?
We must have seen some posters about that or something, because I was dreaming about that all night.
Really?
Yeah, it was this real. It was like it was made of glass. Like you almost couldn't see it, but there was just this shimmer on it. I don't know. It was real strange.
What all?
But yeah, there was like a tournament, and that was the prize. We must have seen something about it on the way.
I don't know. We've had odd dreams before. Maybe it's telling you something, or telling us something.
I mean, that wasn't a bad dream, like a vision
No,
or something,
it was just. I mean, I saw the prize, and that's what was going on. It just kind of kept repeating.
There
wasn't much else.
Nothing else in the dream.
No, just the prize. Just that there was a tournament, and like an arena, and the sword.
Hmm. Is there a second sheet? Or
So-
I said that card.
For the last thing on that sheet that you saw, is it looks like third place does still get something. And third place gets 10,000 gold pieces from the king's personal vault. That also goes to second place as well, but second place also gets the sword, and the 10,000 gold pieces also goes to the winner as well. So all three get the 10,000 gold pieces. And she's just like, now I know you're not a knight. And she immediately flips over the other sheet and actually shows how to actually apply to actually be a knight for this kind of thing like that. Honestly, most people around here are not knights, but it looks like plenty of people are doing the different kind of criteria to set them up. And it kind of like shows a sheet of like what you can do to get temporarily knighted to actually fight in the actual arena and do the tournaments. It looks like you gotta complete certain kind of tasks in the actual festival. And if you can complete them all, which it looks like 5 of 10 different requisites, you are able to temporarily get knighted for an X amount of time to be part of the tournament.
Hearing about the glass sword and that Dira had a weird like dream vision about it, looking at Z, I'm gonna use telepathy and ask her, Zephinia, could you potentially use that ring of yours to see if you detect a sword or a blade of Bahamut by chance?
I can try. And then I'll focus on the ring.
What?
Just.
Do you remember what the
that
range
we
of the
already
ring is?
have one and select those.
No, but let me look at my notes. I have it
been a minute.
I
highlighted.
mean, there is one already bundled up in our stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would hope maybe it would. Or I
And
guess
like the other one.
select has one, so it could potentially be pointing towards him.
he's not here, is he?
He's
That's
still
why
in
they
the
that's why
area.
they were asking about range.
Oh shit! I run
I
out.
mean, if it was a like ranged based thing, I guess maybe like we would be able to detect all of them. I think.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
I
but not
remember it
that
doesn't
far
just
away.
pinpoint one. It just any of them that are within the range of the ring, it's going to notify you of where they are.
I would hope it'd be close enough.
Sorry, I'm still looking up. I get a ring from Malik. Focus on this ring. It's one of the blades itself. It might help you find the blade. I don't have a range on
Okay,
it.
we're going to say it's going to work for the town. So you're able to ping out a few blades. First off, one of them is the scepter that I believe currently Dira has. That's registering as a blade. Another one is going to be specifically somewhere in town. And it's, since you're not familiar with the town, you don't necessarily know where it is, but it looks like it's due northeast a bit. I'm sorry, not northeast. Southeast. Within town. And okay, there's another one. I think that's it. Yep.
Oh, there's one in town. I can't tell where, mostly southeast from here. But there's definitely one.
Where would this tournament be happening?
Are you
Anybody
asking?
know?
Are you asking the group? Or are you
I'm
asking?
asking the room.
Oh, okay. Immediately, like she's like, "Oh well, it's happening everywhere, but the tournament itself," and she kind of like points, like she like kind of like points in a certain direction, aim from the house, and due to your direction, you would assume that's southeast.
And I kind of look at Gaji. Do you know anything about them having this?
I mean, I assume not.
Mm-mm.
Not that I know of. I mean,
Wonder where it came from.
I mean, my best guess, it could have just been in the kingdom's treasury.
I suppose.
We could do these tasks. 3 of us could become knighted, and we can compete to 1, get your name cleared, and 2, find this blade.
And 3, get even more money? Do a clean sweep.
And that would be quite nice too.
But no, I see what you're saying. Increase our chances.
That was kind of my thought as well.
Do we know what these tasks are?
So
Specifically?
the task to actually be temporarily knighted. So it falls under. There's several tasks you can do. You only need to do 5 of them. 2 of them required is first currency. You got to buy your license, which costs 5,000 gold pieces. The next one is you need to get favor from another knight. Another knight needs to represent you. But it doesn't specifically say what knight it needs to be. Just another knight has to just represent you. After that, you can pick 3 of any others. So going through the list, they're mostly games that you can partake in. If you win these games, you get a token. You need 3 tokens added to having the currency and having the favor to proceed with the temporary license. The games themselves, because I wanted this to be fun, one's a pie eating game. Another one is I didn't know how to give it a clever name, but it's basically tiger bumper cars. Instead of having bumper cars, you're actually all riding tigers, and you gotta try to stay in the mount for as long as possible. Another one is called Sky Striker. Basically, it's trying to hit as hard as you can with a hammer to see how far you can actually swing a boulder, kind of like that. You have horseshoes, there are drinking games, and there is archery, and there are card games.
Zephania's gonna open up her purse and look in it very sadly. Well, if we win, that'd be great, but I don't think I can sign up.
Hades reaches back into his bag and just starts like And he pulls out 5,000 gold and puts it right next to her and goes, "You entered."
She gives him a hug.
Does Hades have like one of those old like nerdy kind of like coin, like those little coin pouches kind of like that where you just kind of like have
Oh,
nickels
hell
on one side?
Thank you.
He's like, "You're welcome. Yes, yeah. You're very welcome."
So to
Sorry, I haven't seen this much money in a while. It's just very.
We have a bit.
I've seen that in ever.
So to specify, it does not cost any money to play the games. The games are free. You don't gain any money by winning the games, you just get tokens. Tokens can be used to actually get money back, but in this case, you're given the tokens for someone to get a license. If you guys want to do any extra tokens, those can be switched in for currency, much like an arcade. Get some kind of prize and whatnot. And anybody can play those to get tokens. The tokens are not automatically assigned to you. So if you guys want to all split up and do different games, and then give the tokens to somebody else, who I'm assuming would guide you to fight in this tournament, or if you guys want multiple people to do in tournaments to better your odds, stuff like that. You can also see.
So we can split, all play different games, and then collectively combine tokens.
Correct. Yeah.
Got it.
You also see what are on the tournament dockets for anybody who's going to participate in the night tournaments. So one is jousting, another one is archery, the other one is sword dueling, and the other one is horse racing.
Bear with us. Team Tails is trying to figure out something because we fucked up.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
We forgot how much money we had.
I didn't mess up.
I messed up. Sure.
That number was
apparently
before
have
I
a
just
long
dropped
amount of
5k,
coins.
by the way.
Also, as far as a note, it does say that you must have your own horse for any of the other stuff, but there is actually specific spots where you can actually either rent or procure yourself a horse.
Well, it's a good thing that I prepared Flying Steed, isn't it?
Only we had Druid that could turn into a horse.
I
We
did
have two.
prepare Flying Steed for a reason. Of course, I'd have to ride it.
I've been kind of saving like this festival in my back pocket because I always wanted to do like a Ren Fair thing in D&D.
That's awesome.
So,
Well,
I'm just going to assume.
I don't know
that
if you got any more where that
maybe
came from. I'd kind of like to
stuff.
give this a shot, but I sure ain't got no 5,000 gold. But I suppose we're going to be kind of strategic about it. So what are we doing?
I mean, who all are we planning on entering? Use Affinity on me? Or...
As much as I would like to ride a horse and stab people with a long stick, I don't think I'm going to be strong enough for that.
Unfortunately, no. We need to get you to
In
join
character,
that
you
thing,
notice that Dira still looks a little ragged around the edges. Out of character, guess who forgot she already had a level of exhaustion from getting through the terrain going up to the temple. So I've still got one.
okay. Gotcha.
So you guys notice that, but she's very excited about this prospect. So
Extra coffee.
I will put a stack in front of Dira as well.
Okay.
that
You guys-
is,
Do those 10 years.
I mean, it has been 10 years.
We don't really talk about
So,
They may have just not spent all that much.
Got you. You look like you got something.
I kind of look at Hades and Dahlia like, do I spill the beans or...
I will stand by my earlier statement. At the moment we mentioned Soma, I ran out of the room because I forgot to talk to him. So I'm not there currently.
Oh, so
Spill the beans, boys.
did you grab Soma for something, or?
Oh, Soma. Shit, I meant Silik. My bad.
Oh.
No, I don't want Soma.
Okay, I was gonna be like, what the fuck? Like, what the hell's going on?
My bad, my bad. Why are we so many S's? Soma. Soma, we need to have a chat.
Like, I had
We did
enough
not
of
hear
your.
any bed squeaking last night, Soma.
All right. All right.
I don't know if I should speak or if Dahlia's going first.
Y'all can finish your thing, and
All right, then go ahead,
I can do
got you.
my thing after.
I kind of see like Hades doing the thing, and I'm just like, you remember the last mission we were all on with the caves?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's from that and a few other missions. So consider
perfect
this
sense. Our cut.
more or less. I will, however, split Hades' cost to help Deer out, so that it's not just him being a sugar daddy.
Oh. More of a stevia daddy.
Um,
Of course, Deer and her extremely on point sense of money is completely oblivious. They're like, wow, that's a lot. It's basically all that registers on her.
eh. Anyways, that's my thing. Go ahead.
Okay. Then Dahlia?
I just like hop over to the living room and fish out my sending stone to seal it because I'm like, oh fuck. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, need tabs. Ding ding. Is everything good on the ship? Are you alive? Is everyone alive? Are you quiet? Partying? Not partying? Is there a nursery? Do you need a nursery?
It takes a minute until you hear a response. No, everything is fine. Sorry, I've been really busy. No, the ship's been fine. I mean, if you want to pick up anything, I'm not going to stop you.
What is busy?
Well, well, I mean, she's pregnant. I've been doing a lot of stuff to make sure she's taken care of, and plus it's been a lot of stuff going on the ship in the past couple days, and yeah.
Okay, like what?
Oh,
Not pregnancy. Good. You don't have to give me those details. I just meant like the ship.
Oh, well, there was a little bit of an incident. We had to dodge those dragon riders that were following us before. They came back, so we had to leave for a little bit. But
Like,
we're not too far.
Leave Nelithir?
I mean, we're close, but we are over by the Isles right now. It seemed like they didn't fly that far away.
Okay. That is totally fine. I guess we can coordinate whenever we're trying to leave. Okay, yeah. Do you need anything? Do you want us to bring you back things that aren't I mean, obviously baby items, I suppose, but
No, I mean, just bring yourselves back safe, and I'll be all fine.
great. Okay. That's awesome.
I don't know what you're trying to go for here, but yeah, he's just like, no, it's all fine.
I'm just thinking about Davos now, and I'm like, I don't want to say those over sending stones, so I won't, but
Okay.
energy's there.
Okay.
Then I'll put my stone away, and I'll return to the squad.
Okay. As you start walking back, you suddenly, like, as you hit back the group, you suddenly get like a 2-second migraine where you kind of like get like almost like lightheaded from like having like low sugar or something like that, where you kind of like hold up against the wall and you like look up. Give me an insight check.
La la la. Oh. I forget how big my insight is. 26.
Okay. You look up and you notice something's different with someone in the group, but you can't figure out who. But you know it's somebody within the group. As you hear a voice in your head that's communicating to you. Grandfather. I took my payment in full. He is safe. You choose of who gets repercussion. Their fate's already sealed, no matter what.
Is this something I...
He's just giving
Okay.
you a message. He's not communicating to you. He's giving you a message. I will be in
Okay.
touch.
Well, there goes my lovely day. You see her like stagger against the doorway a second, and she's looking at the group as she's processing this message, but not seeing everyone, if that makes sense. And she just, I'm sorry, 1 minute. And she excuses herself and goes back into Gaiju's room, probably.
I follow.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Are you alright?
I think I will be. Just got lightheaded all of a sudden, and did I miss anything?
No, we were just talking about the festival and stuff. What's going on?
Oh, you know, this Deimos being a dick.
Business cards.
And,
Deimos the dick.
Deimos the dick.
What does the bastard want now?
Well, I don't remember what I told you or Hades because I was really tired and there was a lot going on, but there is this thing with resurrection, especially with Deimos, and it is a life for a life. So, by bringing your father back, I have taken somebody else's life, and he wants me to pick who that is. Just such an asshole. But that's not your problem to deal with. That is not the choice that you made, so I will figure it out, I guess. Maybe there's a loophole or something, or I can get some more insight. Maybe I can just prolong it as long as possible. Didn't seem like he wanted an answer right then and there, so that's on him.
Is it not my burden to also carry? This was from my father, Dahlia. You were my fiancé. We do these things together. And we have to protect our group. That's our family. Please don't brush this off like it's nothing.
I'm not
I know you're not
trying
trying.
to.
I know you're not trying, but this is not it. I don't blame you. I need you to tell me these things. Because it is my burden to bear. And I know you don't want me to bear it, but I will, and I have for the last 10 plus years. I made that decision against your grandfather 10 years ago. That's not new.
That is one thing, but this was a dumb decision I made on my part, and now it affects all of us, and if I could just let everyone have fun for a day or a week and let you be with your family for the first time in how long? I just want to do that and deal with it at a more opportune moment. I don't want to ruin everyone's day. I don't want you to ruin your time with your family. I'm determined to figure this out. And I will ask for your help, for everyone's help, when that time comes. But just puts her head in her hands. She's like, I just made a really, really dumb mistake. Again. But now everyone else has to deal with it.
He'll kind of sigh and just take a deep breath and then just go over and wrap his arms around her. We'll get through this together. Please. No more secrets. We made that promise so long ago.
You the ugly sobs as she just nods into his shirt.
As you
just
hold each other for a few seconds, you immediately get pulled into a vision, Dahlia. Red ring, ritual circle around you, Demos on a stone pillar, and you being sacrificed.
Same vision, nothing different?
Nothing different.
I ugly cry even harder. But there's nothing to really do about it, so she doesn't say anything, because it's not like Gaiju doesn't already know. So she just kind of lets him comfort her, because she needs that right now. And the walls are thin, so I'm sure that's drowning out the bed squeaking at this point, so... You guys are welcome!
I was actually about to ask if we're hearing the sobbing because the walls are thin, but...
Oh no.
There's the thin enough walls you can hear kind of everything.
Good night. This is
Loudly
fine.
crunching on crunchy breakfast bacon to drown out the sound.
What's wrong in there, you think? What's she so upset about?
I don't know.
What happened? Something go wrong?
Sure, we can ask her when she comes out. Maybe, hopefully. No, we are due to take her out.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe a girl's day is much needed.
Well, I'm not sure she's,
perhaps
on board for what we got in mind for our girls' day, but I suppose some of these sound like fun for everybody.
perhaps we should all separate and play some of these games, get some of these tokens together, so that way we can enter at least 3 people into this tournament. And assuming by this evening we would be free, and if you ladies would like to get together and do something, I'm sure Dahlia would greatly appreciate that.
We've also
That sounds
still
like a
got-
plan.
Yeah, and find a knight to support us.
Yeah. Right.
That might be our toughest part.
Well, can't meet people if we don't go out there. I mean, if somebody's impressed, maybe they'll just want to see us in the tournament.
And who knows? Perhaps they have knights at each game that are looking for people to support.
We are very impressive.
I mean, it don't say they can't do it for multiple people or whatever. It just gives them the benefit to decide, give somebody a little leg up to get in.
Do you think we should go and get them and let them know we're leaving?
If you two wish to go looking for games, I can let them know, and then I will be on my way shortly. I'm afraid most of the games that you all would probably play, I would not be very good at.
Well, we should all catch
no,
up
that
somewhere
pirating
at
contest.
a particular
Oh,
time.
I got rules for every game. Trust me, I got rules.
He's prepared, man.
He'll just be like, well, why don't we say going into dusk, we all meet back here.
That works.
If things go to hell in a handbasket, we'll look for the part of town that's on fire.
Soma just looks at the group.
Fair point.
If you all don't mind, I got some promises to keep, but I'll meet with you later on this evening. As he
Alright.
puts on some of his extra piece of armor they took off, and he starts heading his way out after he just kind of pulls the thing over to the side and just gives you a kiss on the cheek as he just says, good luck, and then he starts walking up.
As he leaves, he's gonna hear Gaiju's voice in his head. Don't keep it waiting too long.
I had a high arcane sister, and I'm not even used to that. All right.
That's it.
Okay. He starts heading up.
Hell yeah.
You notice that instead of changing his overall look with some kind of disguise kit, he just more or less puts on a hood, and then he just kind of drapes over some of his armor this time, instead of actually fully changing his full wardrobe. He starts heading into the crowd.
Well, shall we start with games?
I would highly suggest perhaps finding a costume and/or mask first, and then go play some games.
Oh. We should ask Gaiju. I mean, how good was the description of us on that poster he saw?
I assume by this point I've probably calmed down Dahlia enough to have been stepping out to maybe give her some space and kind of recollect herself. Now I have to go remember what I wrote down about the thing. God, what episode even was that?
I did too. It was 2 weeks ago.
What do you guys say?
3 weeks ago.
Oh,
About the wanted posters. It was on the 20th, I think.
All I see is that there were
Earlier.
there were descriptions of everybody in the group.
Yeah, descriptions of everyone, including Treya.
Yeah, but you didn't give like specifics about it, so.
Okay, so as far as the wanted posters, as if you guys mention this out loud, immediately get a response. Be like, well, I've never seen your faces before today. If there's any wanted posters out for you, they either not around here or they don't look like you.
From what I could tell, it was some shadow bounty, so.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, there's only a couple like major ones that I've seen around here. I mean, your face is still up in a couple locations. Not big, but a couple taverns. And there's a couple people that are kind of scattered around that kind of fist buzz. But I haven't seen anything for anyone like you in town, at least. Y'all should be fine.
Well, sounds good to me. I mean, I ain't that conspicuous anyway. Distinctive.
Can I get like a read on my parents' face to see if they know anything about Metakana's bounty?
Oh, sure, yeah, give me an insight check.
Oh, that's not good. Probably not. Yeah, that's a 7.
Yeah, you can't tell. Yeah, you can't really make heads or tails if they already know that she has a bounty on her or not. They do make a point, though, that she's not allowed to go partake in the games.
My parents make the thing? Okay.
Interesting.
If they're making that point, I may inquire about it. What do you mean she's not allowed?
Well, she won't tell me what she did, but the amount that's on her could live us for life with whatever she did. So it's best that she just stays in here and keeps her head down until you all decide to head back out.
Think they know about the bounty?
Do I be a shit little brother? Do I say nothing? It's complicated and more or less there's a reason that we found Dad in the first place.
She kind of like looks at like she knows very little information, so she's really need to hear anything.
She might have got framed as well by someone who pretended to be Dad.
She just kind of like looks down and just a sigh of both disappointment and aggravation. She just.
So we're working on clearing that up, but it may take a little bit.
Well, I trust that you can take care of it on your end. You, as she looks at Medicana, you will stay here until I can discern that it's good enough for you to go out there.
For the bed.
Oh, she's down. She's down here.
Yeah.
I thought she was still in the room.
No, she would have come down by at this point. I just never said it.
Oh, oops. Now I'm a really shit brother.
All this crying ruined her sexy time. My bad.
It's a mix of emotions today. She just looks at y'all. Y'all go have fun. You do what you need to do to get the whole job done. I'll also be here for you when you get back. And if you are able to get far enough to help out your sister, then do so. But until I know that she will be safe by going out there, she's going to stay here. Amelia Cammy just kind of like sneaks down, like looks. And it looks like she's being like super freaking stealthy. And your mother doesn't even turn around. And you too. You're not going anywhere. You stay here.
I like half duck expecting a chocolate.
Like I basically given like your mother like a 25 on passive perception. Just
Jesus Christ.
you know,
She sees all.
yeah, pretty much like the mother that like hears like every creak in the house. It's like no one can sneak around me in my own home.
Of her head.
Yeah.
Definitely no banging in that house.
Unless you just don't care if she hears.
Unless you're Medicana.
Apparently Medicana doesn't.
Yes.
I'm sure she's past that point years ago.
That's fair.
Pretty sure by this point I've slipped back down too. Splash some water on my face, kind of shit.
Okay.
From what I caught, we're all splitting up, correct?
Playing some games.
Cover more ground.
Alright.
I'd also say for anybody like Dira who had one last level of exhaustion, between the food, taking a short rest during this time, having some coffee, you'll get 1 exhaustion point back, unless you have more than 1 exhaustion point.
No, I only have 1 left.
Okay, so you're good.
Hallelujah. So I'm like, let's go through all of these games with a disadvantage on all skill checks.
So if you all start heading out, you immediately notice what were quieter streets when you got there are now jam-packed streets. Carts, stalls, little things that are going on all over the place. But you notice as far as actual games that get you tokens, you got to go further into town. But you can see everything from small businesses having carts out here to a small farmer's market to different kind of booths of taverns that have decided to bring their ale outside. There's basically anything you can imagine, even like spots where it's like, oh, well, since it's a festival, this tattoo shop is actually going to do tattoos like for cheap out in the street, kind of like that.
Hey, yo. Don't be sad. Go get a tattoo.
Just get a tattoo of a broken heart. This is how I feel. I'm going to wear it on my sleeve.
Oh, because I do.
All right, so
Did we decide how we were splitting up?
Yeah.
I want to ride a tiger. I heard that, and I want to ride a tiger.
I'll cheer you on.
Before we all split up, I'm gonna give Dira and Zephinia 2,000 gold each.
Whoa,
Oh, shit.
Okay.
Cash money.
Because y'all deserve some spending money after the shit we've been through.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeet.
All right.
I have plenty though. I can chip in.
Whatever works.
Most gold I've
Pretty
ever
sure that's
had.
more than I have ever had in my life, so
You're welcome.
yeah. Thank you.
And I'm
That'll take
keeping
care of me
the
for a while.
I'm keeping the 5,000 separate, just on my notes.
Oh, same.
I don't spend it like I do in real life.
Where does one find a ye old credit card?
No self-control with money.
In this economy?
Add to cart.
All right.
Add to cart.
Right.
I'm actually just going to put it in because it will be really funny if she did forget, which I won't.
Sure. So, all right. So, first off, even before you guys separate, is there anything else? Is there anything that you guys want to do as far as activities that aren't part of the tournament or games that get you tokens, like tattoos, going to get a drink, food, anything like that?
She
Shopping.
does want to see some of the food and maybe some new armor
Okay.
and stuff. Health
That's
potions.
right, your sword is broken.
How are we divvying up the party? Are the girlies going and the guys going? Is it? I wasn't there for that conversation, so I don't know.
I don't think it was really
Oh,
decided yet.
It wasn't.
Hades,
fine.
Hades is like, well, I think the best choice of action here that was kind of discussed amongst the three of us here was maybe we should all split our separate ways, maximize our playtime in games to see if we could earn more tokens, and reconvene here around dusk.
Zephinia
Not
grabs
making-
Dahlia's arm. Come on, Dira! And starts walking off.
Okay.
Or we could just completely ignore me. That works good too.
As they're
I
going out of
love
earshot
that.
from you, it's like okay. Oh, you can't even hear me. All right, very cool.
Let's go
Well.
get you a new sword.
Well,
Make
fuck
you
me.
arm.
As you just hear like someone over there's like,
Adding up.
well, good sir.
And it was like, this counts as all going our separate ways, right?
You know.
all right.
Bless them.
So Dira and Zephinia go in one direction. Anybody else separate into groups, or is everybody separate out in singles?
I got dragged into that direction, but I am embracing it.
Okay. Oh, so three of you. Okay. Yep.
What's
We
Treya
haven't
doing?
had the girls' day in a while.
Treya
shit.
is just gonna
Alright.
mosey off. I'm not gonna have her participate in the game. She's just gonna go mosey off, and she's just gonna go over to like certain spots of the festival that have like more of her theme, which is like there's spots for like animals. Like she's gonna go play with like the horses and different other kind of creatures that are around, kind of more like the stables
Okay.
and stuff like that.
I'm gonna give her 500 gold because I don't trust her with more than that.
Fair enough. I wouldn't trust her with
I
even
only give her
500, but
500 gold to go enjoy herself.
That seems like plenty.
fair enough. All right. She's like, thanks, and then she immediately starts running off, hopping and skipping throughout the crowd.
Oh, I hope nothing happens to that girl. I kind of like slowly look at Hades. So, since the girls kind of ignored your plan, do you want to go out together or do you want to split? I don't care.
Ignore my plan. Also, it's not. I feel my original addition to that I was trying not to tell Dahlia was that they were going to come back here and have a ladies' evening together, but I feel as though perhaps it would be best that we separate. Again, try to maximize our time trying to attain tokens. There's 3 people we're trying to get enough tokens for. We don't even know how many we need yet.
Probably 9.
Yeah, you'll need 3 per person, plus 10,000 gold per person,
people, yeah.
plus a knight's for representation per person.
Was it 10 or 5? I thought it was 5 per person.
5. I have it in 5.
5,000, right?
Yeah, the entry fee is 5, the prize is 10.
Oh, because it's 10,000 as far as the winning thing. Yeah, 10,000 is the winning thing. Yep.
Okay, just making sure.
5,000 per person. Everybody needs at least 3 tokens. Doesn't matter what game it is, as long as 3 tokens. 5,000, and then a rep from some kind of knight.
Got it.
Alright, well, I probably am going to see if I can find a knight first. But I will meet you back here later.
Sounds good.
Perhaps if the girls are going to have an entire girls' day, we can at least have a boys' night.
Boys' night indeed. Boys' night, woot, woot.
What?
He's just gonna laugh the entire way out of the house.
Alright, so since the girls were the first ones to head off, where is it that the 3 of you are going first?
Dira wanted tigers.
I wanted tigers, but you need armor and sword. Or definitely sword.
Well,
So first
I
we're...
might have a sword coming.
Well, yeah,
And
but
I
you need one
have this one that I can use for
today.
now.
Which
Getting a
one?
sword
Oh, that's
from...
right. Oh, that's nice. Where'd that come from?
Well, I was gonna give it to Soma, but he said he didn't want it, so I have it now.
Where's it from?
He just...
Oh. Oh my.
Well, do you want to keep it, or do you want to
and
pawn it
he-
and get something?
And he wanted you to have that?
I
Wow.
mean, he didn't want to take it, so I guess.
But that's...
But
But he wanted you to have it. That's... My goodness.
a sword that I can use for now.
I feel like me and
It's
Deer
not
are on 2 different opinions on this.
Yes, very much so.
Like, sell the shit out of it. No,
Yeah,
keep it.
angel
That's
devil.
romantic.
It's
Anyway.
something, alright.
Well, I'm very much looking forward to the tigers. So but I'm happy to help you find a good, promising looking smithy as well. So
I mean, we can shop around as the day goes on, but let's at least get 1 token.
All right.
If you're gonna ride the tigers, Dolly, are you?
Riding tigers?
Or are we cheering Dara on?
come on, it sounds like fun.
You guys go ahead. I will
Well-
be on the sidelines with Kierwins ready.
We'll cheer you on, Dira.
All right. And as we're walking, and I have no idea if I'll be carrying my shield while I'm on a tiger because it does seem counterintuitive, but just in case I am, we're going to go with the immunity to slashing today.
Okay.
Are there any, like, flags or banners for sale? Like those gimmicky little...
Not, you got to go further into a tournament to find somebody for that. Right now in the area you're at, you don't really have anything as far as like festival, like flags of meat or any kind of flags or anything like that are around. You got to go further into the festival for that. Right now you're kind of in the exterior of the festival, but you're still in the grounds where like people are still having their own businesses on the street. But you would assume so once you get further in.
I'm gonna keep my eyes out for that.
Okay.
Can I snatch a turkey leg on the way there?
Sure.
I'll snatch one for Zephinia. Dear, do you want one?
We just had a big breakfast. I
Okay,
think I'll hold off till after I ride the tiger.
That is fair. Alright, 2 turkey legs, m'lady.
Sit there eating our turkey legs as we walk.
Got these
Who
big
needs
ass turkey
popcorn?
legs. Like they're bigger than a mallet. It's like you just had these things, just tearing into them. All right, so
If
you're
we're
Also, as
channeling
we go on through the festival grounds, I'm again going to wait till after tiger riding and probably everything else, but looking for a place that has like drinks that look like that pineapple thing that I had in the other city.
Okay.
Because it was really good.
Okay, fair enough. As you make your way further into the more of like the actual true festival, you do find occasional booths that either they sell ale or some kind of flavored teas. But eventually, as you get in further, you do find more of like the flavored alcoholic beverages. And you do find out that other than teas, there are no non-alcoholic beverages that are around here. And as far as different flavored ones, it seems like there are 3 different kind of flavors that are kind of for like every booth. There's like no like custom ones. They're kind of like, these are the 3 things that are for the festival. One is actually a version of the pineapple, but it looks like it's custom for this place. It actually is like a drink inside of like half a pineapple. It's got like the straw out of it and everything like that, and it's got like the drink actually poured inside, and you actually see like they actually got still like it's like the whole theme where they actually got like half a bottle like still put inside of it, and you see them actually pour the liquid inside the pineapple. Another one is same thing, but it's watermelon. And then the last one is... Where is the last one? Coconut.
Put the light in the coconut.
Do they sell like just whole ass bottles of mead?
Yeah.
Excellent. I want a double fisted turkey leg and a bottle of mead.
So
me as a Ren Fair patron.
So you get like this now. When I'm going to say turkey leg in here, I'm going to say that like compared to the regular turkey legs we have nowadays, these are like 3 times the size. These are huge ass fucking turkey legs. And,
I will get the smallest of those sizes then, but okay.
and the mead bottles are like full size mead bottles. So like you got one, you like pop in the cork, and you're like literally, just getting yourself all ready for the event.
You better pace yourself.
I am. This is for the afternoon.
So
all right, just make sure.
Say as I take another swig.
Yeah, keeping an eye on Dahlia and her extreme chipperness, which whether I make an insight check on it or not, I'm a little suspicious of, because she's not exactly doing well.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
I definitely didn't have like swollen eyes when I came out.
Right?
Of the room.
Yeah, I mean, like we heard her sobbing, so I'm keeping a close eye on. I am not interfering with the chipperness, but I might interfere with the guzzling.
Food therapy.
Oh yeah, all over that. Just take it easy on the mead.
Okay.
Head on further in.
Okay. At this point, you
rubbernecking everything. This is amazing.
At this point, everything starts coming through at full. You start getting into just basically with the giant, huge stands are like on their backs, so they're walking around. You just see giant things of like meat that's hanging off the stands. You can smell it everywhere. You can see people that actually have like different kind of even like mobile potion bottles that you can buy. They're like hanging off like these big, huge stands on top. You do get the actual licensed knights that have their flags going around, as you do see one person that looks like the main like bard for the area that's like coming around. He's got like the big huge back holster that has like a bunch of flags sticking out of them. Come get your favorite knight's flag. Make sure you pay.
Run up there.
Okay, you're gonna run up to him.
What colors do they have?
All right, so there are a total of 6 licensed knights that are actually for this event. There is the gold knight. There is the storm knight, which is technically blue. Let me pull up everything here. Hang on. Make sure I get this right. You don't know their names yet, so I gotta make sure I just give you the specific logos for them. So there's the gold, the storm. There's the orange knight. You do notice a symbol for each one too. The orange looks like it's actually a tiger. Storm specifically looks like it's some kind of dragon. As far as like the head, it looks like a dragon. The gold knight actually looks like an actual paladin's helmet. There is the white knight. That one specifically looks like it's a symbol of a sword. And there is the Black Knight, which looks like it's specifically a symbol of a shield.
Okay, so that's 5.
And then there, wait, where's my 6th one?
What was after orange?
White.
White.
There was
I have
white.
a 6th one.
Awesome.
Where's my 6th one?
You told us gold, storm, orange, white, and black.
Where the hell is it? I had so many notes for this damn event. Oh, okay, the Green Knight. That's what I missed. I mixed up some notes with some of the blades.
As long as his sigil is not a severed head.
No. And that one specifically shows like it has a picture of what looks like an eagle.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Yes, would you like to get a flag?
Yes. Can I get the green with the eagle and a black with the shield and a let's go the blue.
Ah, well, those are magnificent choices. That'll be 1 gold apiece.
I'll hand over 3 gold.
Okay, he immediately just passes each one to you. As you can even see that each one has like their own specific handle to them. Some of them have more like a wooden one. Some of them have more of a metallic, maybe more like an actual steel kind of handle to them. But they all have the same material for the actual flag themselves. And these are quite actually sturdy things. They, instead of them being more of like for props or just like little souvenirs, these are like almost full flags, but they're meant to actually like attach to maybe like your belt or anything like that if you wanted to.
Thank you.
You
I'm
are quite
gonna
welcome.
turn and head back. I'm gonna hand the black shield to Dira.
No.
And then I'm gonna
Thank you.
kind of tuck the green eagle behind Dahlia's ear because her hands are really full
Okay.
with food and drink. And then I'll take the other.
Okay.
Ooh.
Well, these are real nice.
Can you
I thought
remind me which ones you picked? You picked which ones?
Yes, it is the black shield, the green eagle, and the blue storm dragon.
Okay. All right. So they do have names on them of who the knights are. So you do notice on the blue one for the storm dragon, it is Sir Edmund, who is actually the knight for that one. For the black shield, that is Roll, Roule. The eagle is actually Cisne, as you find out this is actually a female knight.
The eagle?
Hmm?
Okay, carry on.
But you only know those from getting the flags.
Well, we
thank you.
have to find a knight at some point, and I don't know, we're at a fair. It's fun. Wave them
If we're
around.
carrying their flag, yeah, I guess so. Worth trying.
And we'll continue on to try and find those tigers.
Okay.
And I'm just rubbernecking it. All of the everything. It's a lot.
I'm devouring this turkey leg right now.
As you get in further, you start to hear more of the roar of bards really setting up for games. As you start seeing one that's specifically the boulder, where you see like everybody's getting like this enchanted, big, huge, great hammer. And you see this boulder that looks extremely large, almost the size of a first floor house. And it seems like the way the hammer is it keeps swinging. As each person swings, as it hits the third one, it determines how much power is put into it. After the third hit, they immediately like recoil back as the boulder immediately flies up in the air and goes so far down the field based off how much pressure they put on it. And they're testing to see who could hit the boulder the furthest. As you get further down, you see the pie eat contest as people are trying to eat so much. But then you eventually like notice like the weird quirks to it as someone who's eating a pie randomly. You see someone randomly eating a pie, and as they eat the pie, they randomly turn into a goat.
Oh.
Another one, as they find out that they're eating like a cinnamon pie, it gets so spicy you literally see their mouth go into flames as they're trying to put out the fire in their mouth while they're eating the pie.
Okay, so very interesting pie eating contest.
New.
You do see that the person who actually is making the pies actually looks like some kind of wild magic sorcerer that's actually making the pies. And then you eventually do find the tigers, as you see that there's like this whole area that just has like these different some of them are even different shades of colors. Some of them have different stripes. None of them actually look like they are any kind of like brother or sister with each other, but just these large great tigers that are still mounted, and they got these kind of really, really sturdy mounts on them. And you can see some people that go on these rides, and they specifically have like a warning on them that you got to be so old and you got to be able to handle so much. Basically saying
Gotta be this tall.
Yeah, basically saying that you got to at least have a strength of 13 to at least play the game. As they like are testing, some people that go on them, it's like, and then like, all right, before we let you on, here, get on this guy. And then they're basically doing like the bull test and see how long they can stay on while the tiger tries to run around. And they only last for a couple seconds. Like, nope, you gotta be on at least for 5 seconds before you can get in the ring. But then you see as like certain groups are going in, it looks like the whole setup is the object is try to get your opponents off their actual mounts. And as soon as someone gets removed, they're immediately ejected. Last person to be on wins. Every person's given a tiger, and they're given a lasso. Seems like some people try to hit tigers against other tigers. Some people try to use the lasso to try to rip them off their mount, stuff like that. And it looks like it actually can last for quite some time.
This is fantastic.
And actually, I forgot that the immunity effect is on my armor, not my shield. So I do not need to carry my shield.
Okay, cool. That
I'll
works.
hold it for you.
It also looks like you can tell based off the whole thing of this is they're not requiring people to actually remove or add any armor to it. Looks like they don't really care. If you come in with armor, works for you.
Right. Hi.
Greetings. You are coming to enjoy our little game here. You both.
I am.
Let's see how many we got. That's gonna partake. One. Just one. All right, two.
No. Just sorry.
All right, just one. All right, fantastic. All right, well, we're just gonna finish this round here. Feel free to check out the game, and we'll get one set up for you. If you want, feel free to go in, and you can't really enter into the actual ring, but you can actually pick which one you'd like to actually use. All the mounts are set up, but you can first come, first serve if any of them kind of call out to you. Enjoy as he kind of like goes over and he may like jumps back and he's trying to like any of the tigers that like where their riders got off. They're trying to make sure they distract them so the tigers don't actually attack their riders and stuff like that. Yeah.
Tiffany, I thought you were gonna get on Tiger too.
No, not the wings and the tiger. I don't think that would go
Well,
very well.
It could work to your advantage. Can you like steer with them?
I feel more like they would run and they'd run and I'd go, whoop.
That's fair.
But Dira, and she's gonna place her hands on her shoulder and get real serious. Destroy them.
Destroy.
Okay, have fun.
All right. I'm not planning to destroy anybody, but I'm going to go check out the tigers.
Okay. As you see that there's different sizes of tigers here. Some of them, you can tell that some of them are kind of based maybe for handling their mounts better than speed. Some of them are obviously lighter and they're faster. And some of them look like, depending on the rider, they might not work so well with them. Looks like maybe might work in your favor, more of a gamble. You can definitely see when you're like looking out that you see that there's some where some guys that got drunk's like, all right, I'm gonna take this guy. He looks like I can handle him, and then they're like in there for like 5 seconds, and they immediately like losing control because they can't control the tiger, kind of thing like that. But
so is this like just a bronc riding thing, or are they actually trying to bump into?
They're trying to bump into each other. Yeah, they're trying to bump into each other. Yeah, it's basically bumper cars.
Okay. You're not like trying to knock each other off or anything. Just
you are trying to knock each other off.
Okay.
So I will give you the rules of how this works, so you can kind of understand the whole concept.
I'm going to watch it and try and figure out what's going on.
So, yeah, the main objective is to knock opponents off their mounts.
Okay.
You only get You only get one action per turn, so it doesn't matter what kind of level you are. You only get to do one thing. You do get to move, and then you get to do something. What you can either choose to be using your lasso, or you can choose to charge with your tiger. Let me make sure I read what I'm going to do. Okay, so anytime you try to attack somebody else, or somebody else attacks you, they have to, or you have to make a dexterity saving throw of 5 to stay on. For every 5 feet that the tiger's charging at the person, increase it by another +1 to that DC. So if you're charging from a long distance, you can actually make it quite a high number. If you try to head on somebody, they have a disadvantage from the saving throw. If you decide not to charge, you can use a lasso instead. You got at least you can only go no more than 15 feet away, and then it's your sleight of hand versus their acrobatics to try to pull off.
And I'm not seeing anybody using any weapons or anything crazy. It's just the lassos and the charging.
Yeah, it looks like they don't require you to take off the weapons, but it looks like nobody is actually using their weapons. You can assume that some people actually have on maybe like enchanted gloves that allows them to kind of like hang out a little bit more. They're not really saying no to that, but you're not seeing like people use like swords or bows or anything like that. It just looks like it's simply either charge with a tiger from a long distance and try to shove against another tiger so much it falls someone off, or use the lasso to try to pull them off of their mount.
All right.
And bear with me because for some reason Foundry is not letting me load. Hang on a second.
Of course.
Because like
we haven't had a technical difficulty tonight. We're overdue.
It's saying that I'm not even logged in, even though I was in.
Yeah.
So
it does that. It does that all the time.
Yeah. It's just like, come on, Foundry, stop being drunk.
Yeah. The whole randomly logging you out in the middle of stuff is par for the course.
Pretty much. I notice it does that sometimes when it's just like, oh, we notice that you're not actually using the stream other than using Foundry other than music, so we think you're logged out. It's like, the hell I am.
Yeah. No, it does that. It's done it to me at least 4 or 5 times.
Alright, so log back in. Let me get this all set up for you.
We're cheering you on the sidelines. Go, Dira.
Oh, dear.
She's got this, right?
So,
Yeah.
let me pull up the tigers for you, so you got stats.
Watch the claws.
Oh, that's right, I don't need it. So, you get to choose which tiger you want. You can either choose a tiger that gives you an extra +2 to your DC. Basically, they're slower and you can hang out better. Or you can choose to not have an increase of DC, but you get an extra 10 feet of movement speed while you're on the tiger.
I will go for the movement speed.
Okay. And then tigers have a 60-foot movement speed. So if you want to go for the movement speed, then you get 70 feet of movement speed.
Sweet. Yeah, and I'm just going to kind of look at them and see if I can... I have no idea what... Just flavor-wise, find one that looks like I would get along with it. I don't know.
Fair enough. All right, let me add on the grid. Since I didn't know which one you guys were going to start with first, I didn't want to make a bunch of maps for no reason.
Makes sense.
All right, so let's put your token down. And we'll put down a few guys, so we'll go. Still at 6 contestants per round, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right. As you immediately get in, and they immediately get each spot locked in, you immediately sit on, and you kind of get adjusted on the actual tiger, and you immediately get on the actual mount itself. You're given your lasso, it's immediately put in your hand, and you just have one hand on the actual One hand on the mount, the other one on the lasso, and then they immediately count it off as if everybody starts charging in inside the actual arena. I need you to roll me initiative.
All right. Oh, it's
feel like
almost an
Tiffany
18.
and
3.
Dolly are just gonna
3?
narrate
Oh,
from
no.
the sidelines.
Yeah, that is a 2 for a 3.
Okay.
And she is sitting tight in that saddle.
All right, so you are unfortunately going to go last. So,
Yeah.
all right, so we're going to start off with this guy. As he immediately starts charging in with what looks like a more broader, higher DC, but slower. So he's immediately going to start heading directly for the guy on the right. 5, 10, 15, 20, and he is going to go in for a charge. So that means it is extra 5 feet, so it's 20. So 5. So an extra. So he's gonna roll. That guy immediately gets booted off right away. He got a natural 1. This guy's gonna go. And he is gonna go 5, 10, 15, 20. And he's gonna charge into the other guy. So this guy's still on. This one's gonna charge at them. 5, 10, 15, 20. This guy gets knocked off. And this one's gonna try to lasso this guy, so good, and the lasso does not grab. Alright, it is on your turn. So you get to choose whether or not you want to charge at somebody or use a lasso. Lasso's range is maximum of 15 feet. If you decide to charge at everybody, it starts off at a DC 5 dexterity saving throw at the person you're charging at, but increases by +1 for every 5 feet you charge.
All right. You said I have 70 feet movement?
Yep.
Then I am going to charge this guy right here.
Okay. 70 feet is that 20 feet?
That was 70. Or 5, 10. Are these... Wait, what?
5
are
feet
these?
apiece.
Oh, they're 5. So it's 35.
Okay.
He was just the farthest one.
So 35, so that's going to be... that is 18. So that's a success. You're able to ram into him, but he's able to hang on, and he's able to keep sturdy on his mount. That'll end your... Well, you still have some more movement speed if you want to move somewhere else. You can use up the rest of your movement speed if you like.
And I am going to... I'm actually going to come over here and get a run up on somebody the next time.
Got it. Okay, we're gonna go for this guy. Since he's got a bigger one. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30,
Wait, my little
35,
friend.
so 7. So that is a 13 that has to be beaten. That is a natural 20, so this guy stays on. This one's going to use a lasso against this guy, so he has to make acrobatics, which is 17. The other one has to make, or a sleight of hand, so it's 17. The other one has to make acrobatics. This guy uses his lasso to whip off this guy off his mount. This one's out.
Oh, he's looking like the one to beat.
And this one is going to also use a lasso at this guy, so this one's going to make an acrobatics. Natural 20 against the other one, which is a 19. So this one's out, leaving you and one other person. Your turn.
As he goes off the field, I kind of give him a nod like, good show. And then I'm going to charge this guy.
Okay, so
that's 5, 10, 15. That's 20.
So that's an extra 4. So they got to make a DC 9 dexterity saving throw. That is an 8. As you ram at him with just enough speed, they were already shaken up as you immediately just go head on, as you immediately just slam at him, as he immediately gets pushed off the back, and immediately thrown off as he immediately collapses, as immediately the bards come in to try to like collect the tigers to make sure nobody gets stomped on as they pull everybody out. As that quick round goes
Good
by,
boy!
as you're immediately celebrated on, as they immediately start pulling your tiger back into the actual area, and as you're
behind the ears.
As you immediately coax off, the bard immediately hands you 1 golden token. Congratulations on your win. feel free to come back, and if any of your friends want to play, easy tokens to make.
Thank you. That was a great time. Good job. Well done.
I just want all of you to get involved with this. Just everybody just jam-pack themselves in this. All right.
Riding daggers is not my thing.
All right.
But I will
No,
support.
he mentioned that, and Dira just went, ping.
Figures?
Immediately as you start leaving,
One.
you start seeing what looks like a mobile merchant walking around. Enchanted weapons, armor, shields. Enchanted weapons, armor, shields. Anyone? Daggers,
bows if-
swords.
yes.
Want to go over?
I follow Zafini. I give a good look over at his wares.
As you see, he's got like a big
And,
backpack that's like several swords on it. And he's got like a big, huge cart that he's moving around. It's like shields and hammers and stuff like that. It looks like he's got like no like magical implements to actually cast spells, but everything else is enchanted. As he really stops, you're like kind of like the line is like some kids like buy like some of the parents like buying what looks like safe, ready, like they're like wooden swords, but they have like a magical property that allows them to like move faster and learn how to duel and stuff like that. It's like, be careful with those now, and they immediately run off and they're like, fighting sticks against sticks, kind of like that. Greetings. You all look like a battle-ready, hardened group. What can I get for you today?
What kind of armors do you have?
Armors. Well, they've been going by very, very fast. If you're looking, are you looking for more metal? Are you looking for more leather? Are you looking for some hide?
Probably metal, something that'll protect me a little bit more than chainmail.
Well, we only have 2 pieces of metal left, and immediately just opens up this little compartment and he pulls out like this little stand as it immediately like unfolds and goes up. As you can see, one's a plate, and then the other one looks like it's like scale mail, essentially. And you can see the scale mail itself looks like it's actually true like dragon scales as far as the actual dragon's mail, and it looks like it's actually designed as like a weave down. He immediately just kind of starts taking his fingers. He says dragging down it. As you can see, as his fingers touch each one, it glows like a crimson glow due to touch. We got this guy right here. This is my crimson hide. This one will specifically help you out against any of those major battles with any of the fire fiends. As he goes over to the plate one and he kind of just taps on it, as you kind of hear this echo reverberation. Now, if you're looking for a sword battle, this guy's your number. As he immediately just keeps banging on, his hands just reflect back off. You assume it has like a resistance to non-magical damage.
And how much are both of these?
For a lovely crowd like yourselves, I will give you a special deal just for me, just for you. For these 2, both of them together. House price, 10,000.
And how much for each? Separate?
If you're looking just to get a single by itself, the Crimson, I usually go for about 7. This guy over here, I mean, if you want to get it by itself, that'd usually be about 5.
Which one are you guys looking at?
I'm doing fine. I'm quietly assessing the workmanship.
You can give me an insight check, Dira, using your specific background being
That'll
a
end
forger.
well.
Can I get an insight check to see if he's bluffing on the house deal?
Sure.
If I'm using my background, can I do it with advantage?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Well, that's good because so that's going to be 16.
Oh, nice. And what about Dahlia? Would you get for an inside check on the salesman?
28.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, he's putting up a show as far as price. You assume you can go way lower on the cost. He's definitely trying to sell you. Dira, as far as the craftsmanship, yes, it is not worth as much as he's charging for it, but it's immaculate. As far as the breastplate, you assume that there's actually much more to it than maybe even he knows about. He just assumes that the breastplate itself is a resistance to a lot of non-magical implements, but you can definitely tell that this has more magical properties than what is made out to be. As far as the Crimson Hide itself, Yeah, it looks like more than just a resistance, it's an immunity to fire. And it looks like specifically, you would assume also a resistance to cold. There might be a few more to that, but both of them definitely do not fit to that bill. You could assume you could definitely go lower for cost.
Well, dear, you're good on armor. Zephynia, did any of these catching your eye?
You know, I really like not burning.
Don't we all?
Yeah, it looks real nice. They look real well made.
The high
Is that
one-
the
Sure, I'm not
5,000 or the 7,000 one?
7,000. The Crimson Hide is the more expensive one.
I'm not sure about 7,000 gold, but
Yeah,
it's real
I'm
nice.
really
For
not.
hide armor?
Now this is Dahlia's specialty.
I'm just looking at it and I'm like feeling it and I'm just like, you know, I saw something very similar to this back at Heartwind and it was like 3,000 gold.
Oh,
Is there a
3,000?
reason for the price increase?
Well, that's a very remarkable price. I'll tell you what. I'll meet you halfway. How about let's go solid 5.
Are there any sort of blemishes on it? Even just like a coffee stain at this point?
No, it's actually very much immaculate.
No,
There's
it's-
no markings on it
they're-
at all. No.
Theodore, what do you think? 5,000? Do you think that's still a little...
I mean, it's a
I'm
lot.
just saying, the one in
Real
Heartwind
nice.
was...
real well done. Yeah, that was real nice too.
Dolly,
Yeah.
give me a deception check with
I
advantage.
think I know what you're talking about,
Give me a deception
I'm just
check with
gonna let
advantage.
her
'cause
do her
using-
thing.
Yeah.
and I am going to shut up, or I'm going to give you disadvantage.
Is this deception?
Yep.
Let's see.
I think I know the one you're talking about. Maybe I don't know. I can't remember. All the
Deception.
numbers run together. I'm going to keep like muttering that while she's.
I give her a little nudge with my boot and she keeps rambling all too long.
What you asked?
It's a 23 for deception.
It's just like, well, I would not want to lose a customer as gorgeous as yourself. So I'll tell you what. 4,000, but you need to buy the sword that goes with it. I can't honestly sell this armor from my blacksmith at such a cheap cost unless I sell it as a bundle. So you get it for 4,000, you also get the short sword.
Before he can even point out what short sword it is, can I look at the nicest one and be like, oh, this short sword?
Sure.
Surely.
So you see 2 short swords. One looks like it's not like made of gold, but looks like it has like a gold edging to it. That looks like it's like a hook blade of a short sword, like where the end actually curves. And the other short sword specifically looks like almost kind of like a short, almost like a rapier. But this one actually looks like it's the one that actually goes with it, as it looks like it actually has a claw for the actual guard, and the actual blade itself actually kind of like curves almost kind of like a tail, kind of like that, as it almost kind of has like a weird kind of weave of its actual blade shape. But the gold one actually seems more expensive, even though it doesn't look like it goes with it.
I'm gonna pick it up and be like, oh, yes, this one. This one would look really good, Zephynia, with the, like, match your outfit and your hair.
How well they go together. You know, you're
Yeah,
right.
you know, 4,000
It
for
is
this
very
is a
good
really
pair.
good price.
You know what? I'll take
I think
them
we could
both.
do that.
Okay. Dolly, now
She's
give
just
me.
standing there looking like she's watching a tennis match and very
All
confused.
right, Dolly, give me. I'm gonna give me persuasion with advantage because Zephinia's helping. Yes, swindling the swindler.
Oh no.
No, they hit each other and
Okay.
I was like, wait.
Yeah, no, you don't want to hear fuck when there's rolling happening.
Sorry,
Right.
it wasn't that dramatic. With advantage, that was. I'm putting these goddamn expertise to use. So it was a 25.
Okay. As he looks very confused. He's like, "Well, that wasn't a blade that goes with it. But if you want to get that blade too," as he pulls out the actual sword that goes with it, he's like, "I wouldn't." As at this point, you can tell he just wants to make a sale. He's like, at this point, he's put like a lot of work into it. He's like, "All right, I'll tell you what. The 2 swords, the armor, 45. I'm losing money.
I'll get to Finny and be like, I don't know. I mean, like, the first sword and the armor were pretty good, but maybe we could do 4,200. What do you think?
Yeah, I think 4,200 is a fair price.
I don't want you to lose money, good sir. I'll do 4,250.
He looks at you. I would not want to deny such a beautiful lady out of such a beautiful gift. 4,250, we'll call it a good deal.
Excellent. And I will pay for it.
Okay. So
No,
4,250.
you can't. I have money now.
So you
Well,
got
now you
But-
still do.
I just look at her and I shush her, and then I take a huge swig from my mead, and I'm just like, I got this.
so I gotta
What
make
did
them
we
for
do?
you, but you got the Crimson Hide
Can
armor.
we see the level of the mead in Dahlia's bottle?
I don't know how much have you had so far.
Is that about a third?
A third.
So
Okay. I was gonna say it was more than that.
Okay.
I got to roll disadvantage.
Okay, if it was past like half, I would.
We're not at halfway yet.
Her do this. Okay. I've seen Dahlia drink a lot, so I'll worry if it gets to be half before like lunchtime.
My tolerance has hopefully gotten better after 10 years, but we'll find out.
One of these days, you have to tell me all that's happened.
That might take more than a day.
We're gonna have to sit at a tavern for at least a couple hours.
Let's play some games first, and then let's do that. Although I think we should all do that together.
So we are gonna pause on you guys. We're gonna go over to the 2 others. So who, either Hades or Gaju, whoever wants to go first, as you're going through the town.
I'm fine in either way.
I guess if I unmute. I would say Hades starts heading toward. Actually, before he leaves, he lets Gaiju kind of get ahead, and he's gonna go up to Gaiju's mom and just be like, I had a question for you. I was curious if there's any purveyor of magical weaponry that is in town that you would know that's kind of a specialist or have kind of weird odds and ends items.
Well, as far I don't know if he's doing anything for the festival, but the major archmage of the town, he's pretty far down, probably closer to the end of by the tournament. I don't know if he's open for the festival or not, but if you find Jowin, he is the major archmage of the town. He would be the purveyor of magical artifacts and weaponry.
Perfect. That would work out greatly. Thank you very much.
You are quite welcome. Enjoy the festival.
And he will leave the house and start heading the direction southeast, I think it was, towards the tournament to see if I can find Jowin's lair.
Okay. Due to the fact that he has a major business, you start seeing signs of where it is, but it's considerably a way down. As you start passing by a tournament, you can actually pass by like the jousting arena where you actually see some people actually getting prepped with their horses and getting everything all set up. You eventually get your way down to a quieter side of town. The festival's still going on, and you can tell that his place definitely does not have a festival spot for it, but stretch but it does look like his shop is open, but it's quite quiet right now.
Okay.
As you do see, it actually takes up a considerable business size compared to the rest.
I will go in.
Okay. As you enter in, you immediately hear the little ding of the bell as you open it up. As you're immediately opened up into a lavish, gorgeous business. Compared to many other mages' businesses, which is crowded, cluttered, this is neat. This is a mage that has either a lot of time on his hands, or he does not like to leave a piece of dirt anywhere. The place itself is 2 floors. The first floor itself, like really nice red carpet area. All the different artifacts are kind of in glass cases all over the place, kind of like a jewelry store. And then the second floor is kind of like a balcony that wraps to the top. And that floor specifically has enchanted weapons. That's kind of like mounted on the walls. You eventually do see at the far end there is like a spot where you assume that the purveyor of goods would actually be, but you currently do not see anybody. You do see a couple other patrons here that are shopping around, but you do not see any current shopkeep in the area.
Okay. I'm gonna go look at the weapons. I'm looking at the greatswords.
Okay. As you start heading your way up to the second floor, taking this large, gorgeous staircase up there, you do see that there's like no specific spot where like greatswords are. You just kind of walk around, and you do find a total of 3 different greatswords themselves. Each one completely different to the rest. You got specifically what looks like more of like a greatsword as far as a broadsword in a sense, where it has actually kind of what looks like a blue sapphire tone to it. But it looks like it definitely has a sheen that changes the color depending on the light. You can't really tell because you can't hold it until you buy it. But it looks like definitely depending on, maybe it reacts to moonlight or sunlight. You can't tell. There is somewhat a basic description at the bottom of the plaque. When touched by water, this magic weapon gains additional properties, and they kind of leaves it alone after that. On another side of the wall, there is... I forgot what the kind of sword is called, but it's where it has 2 specific guards, so you can choose to either swing it with a short arm or with a long arm with a wider grip.
That was Flamebridge?
Yeah, Flamebridge. You got specifically that. Only this one's a lot longer. This one requires you to always have 2 hands on it, these specific properties of this one looks like it deals specifically with. If I remembered my fucking info. It deals with gradient magic. It looks like it's specifically meant for paladins, but it's not required to be for a paladin.
Okay.
And the last greatsword itself actually is what looks like kind of like it looks like almost kind of like a large hooked greatsword, almost kind of like if it was like a blade at the end. For kind of like, and it looks like it's specifically like if you get someone behind someone, you can kind of pull it back on yourself. And it has what looks like 3 specific hollow points in the middle. Description says adding magic to it increases the properties of the blade.
Okay.
What's your passive perception?
Pretty decent. 16.
As for a second you don't notice, but all of a sudden, like in the last second, you're able to realize it. As all of a sudden you just hear someone sneak up behind you. Greetings! Sorry I was not able to attend to you as soon as you walked in. I am Jowin. How can I help you today, good sir?
Oh, that's quite all right. I'm looking for a great sword.
Well, you found the right ones.
Yes, something of a magical property to it. I mean, the more rare, the better, I suppose you could say.
Well, we only deal in rare artifacts and enchanted weapons here. Is there a specific type you're looking for outside just a basic greatsword that has magical properties, or are any of these tickling your fancy?
Can I make an Arcana check on the greatswords to see if this is just like peddler crap that he's passing off as like really cool, but not?
Go ahead, give me an Arcana check.
That's a 16.
You assume everything inside this building is at least legendary.
Okay. I will ask him.
Know.
All right, I'll ask him about this multicolored one with the lights and the weird hooked one seem interesting enough. What could you tell me about them?
Well, first off, he points over to the first one he looks at, the Sapphire Saber. Fine piece. If I ever had one myself. Normally, I'll be honest with you, it grabs almost every patron's attention. But I'll be honest, the price is a little high, it scares some people off. But I'll show you. And he immediately just kind of like puts his hand up as immediately the glass evaporates, and he grabs the blade and he kind of lifts it up, and he kind of has to use magic because he's not strong enough to lift it up himself. As it immediately swings it, and he just casts like a water spell, and then like it immediately absorbs the water to it. As it looks like then he can actually move it easier, as it like absorbs the water itself. And as you see it just move, some of the sunlight that casts through his actual window immediately starts turning the color into like more of a green, and then it pulls back into the darkness and it goes somewhere blue. This sword adapts to the elements around it. Whatever creature you fight, whatever you defend yourself at, this sword has some kind of property that'll help you, good sir.
All right. What about the hooked one there?
Well, this specific one I had specifically set up for any of my patrons. They're a little bit stronger, but are definitely dealing with the larger beasts. Last person who purchased one similar to this was a great purveyor of hunting down different kind of giants. This blade itself definitely helps you up with the bigger sized creatures. DM the player is it gives you advantage on any creature one size bigger than you.
Okay.
There's extra stats to it, but that's the major point to it, is that it can handicap a creature that's bigger than you. Outside of that, it specifically has the ability to stun creatures that can't be stunned.
Okay. Straight in like appearance, which one is prettier?
Sapphire.
Okay. He's gonna be like, well, they all seem quite lovely. Well, you said that most people are afraid of the price of the sapphire one. What's that one going for?
About 15.
15 what?
1,000.
What's the conversion rate on a platinum to gold again? I'm trying to remember. Is it 100?
Gold to platinum is 10.
Gold to 10. Okay. Okay.
Now, I assume as he like looks at you and kind of gives you the once over, this is not for you. No offense, you do not look like a wielder of, well, such a style of weapon, if I do say so.
If you weren't right, I would take offense to that. But you're right. It is not for me. I just had a hankering to acquire this. Is there any way that I could perhaps talk you into giving up the item at a lesser cost?
He immediately kind of gives you a once over once again. Well, I could be persuaded to reduce the cost for maybe a favor.
What kind of favor are you looking for?
Well, you can see that this town is full of a busy crowd for the actual event itself. Not my taste. I prefer to stay in and take into account the inventory of what I have in account. But to you, I feel like I could meet you halfway. I can reduce the cost significantly if you're able to procure me a certain item within the festival itself. I had my eye on one of the actual trophies for one of the games. If you're able to win it for me, I can make you a trade for half cost.
I suppose that might be possible. What game are you looking at? On pie eating.
The game is called the High Striker. I myself do not have the strength nor the constitution to deal with such a game. But if you're able to take care of yourself or have a friend that can help you out, and you're able to at least get second place on High Striker, there is a specific item there that the merchant has that I had my eye on for quite some time. But he does not sell it outright. The bastard, he must make it winnable. What it is, it's an enchanted mallet, you see. The mallet itself allows any wielder to convert the item of it down to its raw potential, turn it into its basic properties. If you're able to procure this for me, I will cut the cost in half. You just got to pay for the difference.
I can see what I can do. It seems possible.
Very well. I will make sure that it is not procured by you, but if for some reason procured by anyone but you, but if for some reason I do not hear back from you by the morning. And if for someone does try to procure it by tomorrow's day, I will not stop them from actually spending the money. So, keep me informed on your progress. As he just runs down, he's like, bear with me 1 second. Quick runs down and he grabs like a little piece of parchment that has the picture of the actual mallet on it as he passes it to you. This is what I'm specifically looking for.
All right, well, I will see what I can do.
Okay.
All right, I will leave the shop. I'm going to start heading in the direction. I'll ask him where the mallet challenge is and then head that way.
I'll be honest, they move it all the time, but I feel like it's pretty much right outside the jousting arena. It's not far from here.
Okay, I shall see what I can find out, and I will head that direction.
Okay. We are going to switch to Gaju.
I think I was actually headed towards that.
Oh, were you really? Okay, cool. Alright.
So I'll just run into him there.
Okay, so
Fine.
as you run over into Gaju over at the High Striker, as you see that you both see this area where people are getting this enchanted great hammer. And outside looking in, it just looks like a giant large metal stick that just has like a big rock attached to it. But every time they slam against it, the boulder doesn't move, no matter how strong the person is. Even a giant's doing it. But when it hits a third one, immediately they pull back and immediately this energy goes and starts rippling and immediately just shoots off to see how far it actually goes, like a cannon fire. And it goes through every 3 people to see who got the furthest. But it looks like it requires a certain amount of strength to go through to actually do it. The lowest is a 14 that you must do to compete in this challenge for strength.
Oh boy. I'm strong. I don't know if I'm that strong. I mean, I'll give it a try.
Okay.
Are you a 4? Do you have it?
I mean, I have a 16 in strength.
Okay, yeah, you're good.
so-
You're good.
I think Hades is actually going to ask what the rules are to play the game.
Okay. You see this large orc immediately come up to you as he just kind of like points out how everybody's doing. You take our hammer right here and you immediately grab it. And I'll tell you, the enchantment that we got on the boulder will now allow it to move, no matter how strong someone is, until the 3 turns are complete. As soon as the 3rd turn is complete, you move back and it takes how much damage you apply to it, and it shoots it off at a certain amount of distance. The bare minimum 50 yards is done. And immediately you get 3 swings, and you must swing with the great hammer as a non-enchanted weapon. So just it's just a strength check, and then if you hit it, which is AC of 12, you apply 2d6 against the other 2 people. Whoever applies the most damage hits it the furthest. It's 3 turns.
And it's just a general strength check.
Mm-hmm. If you beat the AC of 12, you apply the 2d6 3 turns, going through. If you miss it, you still do the 2d6, but it's halved.
Okay.
So you have to hit it 3 times, or each person takes a turn and then that's it?
No, you got hit 3 times.
Okay.
So it's 3 people going. Each hit it 3 times. Applies the damage. Even if you don't hit it unless you get a natural 1, you're still technically touching it, so you're applying damage to it. It's just half the damage. It gains resistance to you. And then you immediately pull back and it fires off like a cannon.
Got it.
Gotcha. I'll give it a try.
Okay, so roll me a strength check 3 times to see if you beat that AC.
Teen. Seven.
Ooh, okay.
And 10. Damn.
Okay, so one succeed, 2 misses. So roll me 2d6 first. We're going to apply your regular damage.
7.
Okay, and then roll me 4d6. We're going to half that.
Okay. 3. 11.
Okay, so you got an 18. We're going to do the 2 others. So first guy is going to get a natural 1 and a 6. So that would be a natural 1 and an 8. So that's a miss, and then he gets a 14. So he gets 1 success and 2 fail. Well, 1 fail and complete fail. So
Does that mean this guy, like, completely whiffed it?
Yeah, so everything, unless you get everything except for natural one, you hit it. If you get a natural one, you,
Okay.
like, totally miss it. So it's
Like, hits the ground instead.
pretty much, yeah. All right, so that's... Okay, so the other guy, he's going to get 11, a 17, and a 12. So if he misses one, he gets 2. So when he misses, he has 8, so he gets 4. Oh, you still beat him. So you got an 18, one got 7, one got 15. So immediately as you swing down,
my
they immediately catapult themselves off down this field. As immediately the guy who biffed it only gets down about 60 yards. The guy after him gets about 80, and then you shoot off and gets about 110 as it immediately goes off further. As you immediately see these boulders immediately go. And after a couple seconds, they just recharge and they reset back over to their spots. Congratulations on your wonderful victory. You have your assortment of your choices for the grand prize. As you see like 5 different things there, you do see the mallet that specifically Hades is looking for, but you also see an enchanted bow, an enchanted sword, an enchanted shield, and you also see what looks like an arcane rod.
I don't know if Hades has gotten to even tell
Probably
Gaiju
not.
about the mallet yet.
I don't think so.
Would I know if all of these things require attunement?
Based off of just a rough estimate, you assume that each one requires at least it's probably attuned due to its magical properties. Each one looks like it's a legendary weapon of some kind.
Okay. Well, I'm shit out of luck because I have way too many items that require attunement, so I'm just gonna, like, motion for Hades to come over.
The good sir
need
requires to get a
anything?
gift for his friend.
The mallet. I do actually need the mallet.
Okay. I have no use for any of these items currently, so if that's what you need. I'll take the mallet.
Very good. As he immediately takes the mallet and he puts it like in this small tray and he just passes it over to you. And then, for the winnings, also for the winner themselves, and he immediately just flicks over the actual token. Congratulations on your
There you
win.
go.
As Hades, as soon as you put this in your hand, just like as you may like drop down as it's like really heavy to carry.
That's
You
fine.
want me to carry that?
No, I need it for a thing. I appreciate the win. I have to run a quick errand, and then I kind of look around. What do I see around like other games right now?
Right near that, there is the archery, jousting, and then horseshoes.
Okay. I will tell Gaiju, I don't think I'm going to be any good at most of these, actually, but I'm going to walk around a little bit after my errand and then see if I can't win at least a few tokens for you and the others to make up for your kind gesture here.
Don't worry about it, Hades. Do what you need to do.
Still appreciate it. You'll see. And, like, he's going to just, like, kind of, like, struggling, like, over his shoulder and just kind of, like, hurry off real
I'll
fast.
give him, like, a little, like, bump against the shoulder.
Oh, I'm good.
Okay, so Hades, as you make your way back over to the business, immediately Jolin sees you. It's like, oh, that was considerably fast.
I have friends in strong places.
Those are always nice to have. Did you procure the item?
He's like, yes.
Yeah, that looks like it. Here, and he immediately just like opens up a table. Just go ahead, sit down right here. As you rest it down, he immediately like says, such a beautiful piece. As he immediately gets like entranced until he forgets that you're there. As he's kind of like investigating, he puts like this this little eyepiece on. He kind of zooms in a little bit. And it's like, oh, such a gorgeous piece.
I'm actually going to use that to my advantage and be like, it does seem as though this lovely hammer seems a bit more lucrative to you than I would say half the price of the sword. Could you maybe do a little bit better than that? And it was very expeditedly gotten for you.
It was considerably fast. Give me a persuasion check.
Worth a shot. That's pretty good. That's 21.
Well, the sword itself is quite valuable. I'd rather not lose any money on it. I could probably drop it down a little bit. Or, now, bear with me for a second. You said that you wanted to get a good weapon for a friend of yours, right?
Correct.
Alright, so this mallet you brought me allows me to repurpose any kind of magical item in a possession, convert it to whatever I want. Saves so much time. I have all the implements, I got all the different kind of tools to make up for the properties. What if I procured your businesses a little bit further and you don't have to pay me a single copper piece?
That depends on what you're looking for.
Well, forget about the sword up there. I'll make something up to your specs. No cost, but I need you to run me a few more errands.
Are they legal?
Oh, I would not have you do anything illegal, good sir. No. This is just another more procurement in the festival for more pieces I need to complete my research on different kind of artifacts. But once again, all the hubbub and all the craziness around there is not for me. You run these few errands to me, I will make you a custom piece up to the caliber of what I have.
Well, what do you need me to do?
Well, you say that you want to get your friend a greatsword. There is a gentleman out there, he's a mobile salesman. He sells actually molds for forgers. If you can get the actual mold for the greatsword for me, pay for it, and bring it back over to me, or however else you want to get it, is completely up to you. That's one of the things I need. The other thing I need is a certain kind of iron. This iron is very, very rare in Nelithir. But we have a gentleman that's over on the other side of the city that carries it. If you can bring that for me, it's very, very good for enchanting items. The last thing is mithril. With that, if I have that and I can attune it to the hammer itself, I can take anything and I can make you whatever you want.
Alright, he's gonna just be like, well, I guess I am not accomplishing my goals for the day. So, he's gonna like, do you have some kind of map or something to show me where I need to go?
Of course. As he immediately goes over around and he pulls out a map and he immediately just like takes off like the price tag off of it. It's like supposed to be for people to buy. And he immediately goes there and he like takes this little marking and he circles around with the quill and he circles around with the quill and he points up to the different salesmen. He's like, no, I can't tell you this is exactly what a salesman is. This is where he usually parks, but he's gonna moving all over the place. So,
what does he look like?
First off, I'm gonna tell you to make this Jawin himself is a tiefling first. He's a pure-blood tiefling. So he's like, well, he's not a man of taste. Let me tell you that. First off, another one of the elves around here. He's dirty. He's not going to be one of the most clean kind of people around here. You'll be able to find him by the smell. I can definitely tell you that. But blonde, short, easily mistaken for a halfling.
And what of the metal that I need to get?
The ore itself? If you can just procure that from a merchant. He's on his way down. Let's see. From you guys, that is... south. As he puts it on there, it's actually not too far from actually where Gaju's home is. And the mithril itself is near the entrance towards the actual town itself where you guys came in. The mithril itself is actually at what looks like a dwarven vendor that actually sells specifically only mithril. What he's actually looking for is actual mithril ore, not actual mithril items. So he's looking for iron ore from an actual archaeologist that's pretty close to Gaju's house. Mithril ore from a dwarven vendor. And the actual mold from the mobile merchant.
And then where was the dwarven ore at again?
It is due north. It is at the entrance of town. With the exception of the mobile vendor, both of the locations for the ore are outside the actual festival itself.
Got it. Okay. Then I will thank him, head out,
okay.
and start heading towards the southern one, the metal ore south by Gaiju's home.
Okay, perfect. All right, we're gonna switch. While you're doing that, we're gonna switch over to Gaiju while you're running errands for Jowin. Okay, so Gaiju, after you just watched your friend carry off with a big, huge, giant fanny pack of a mallet, what would you like to do?
Do I see anyone that kind of like matches what I would know of a description of a knight around?
You can either give me an investigation check or a perception check.
Oh, that's not very good. We're gonna go with perception for an 8.
Perception for rough. Okay. Okay. Hang on a second. I just had my sheets over there in front, but I had the names open notes. Okay, here we go. Luckily for you, there's one actually nearby. Pretty close to actually where the actual game that you were just playing at, and pretty close to the jousting arena. You see the most swooning of knights. You see Sir Roland. This man is the most pompous knight you've ever seen. The slick, short, blonde hair that is as gold as his armor. You see this.
He's the gold knight?
Yes.
Okay.
You see the stash that goes from ear to ear with the goatee that kind of braids down. And his armor itself literally like has like his logo like on every piece. The breastplate, the pauldrons, the everything. And currently right now, he does not care to speak to any male people. He is currently swooning the ladies. Hardcore.
Alright.
And in perspective, think of him as a Gaston of characters.
Fair. He's a human or elf?
He's a human.
Okay. You know, for a second, I considered it, but I think Gaiju has enough standards to go look for a different knight.
Okay.
Maybe once upon a time he would have, like, attempted to tap that, but, no, not now. Let's see. He's gonna go towards the archery.
Okay.
Also keeping an eye out for any of the other knights, but otherwise he's gonna go do, archery.
Okay, give me a perception check as you're making way to the archery if you're trying to keep your eye out for other knights.
Okay, not that dice. Oh, for fuck's sake. 11.
11. You make your way over to the archery without seeing a knight, but as you make your way there, you do notice that there is a procession of what looks like young warriors kind of surrounding this one person. Not like they're fawning over this person, but it's kind of like they are maybe the squires of this person. And at first you don't see who it is, but it looks like they just completed like a task over at the archery. And right now everybody's kind of like applauding and everything like that. As eventually you see, as the crowd itself opens itself up, as you see the Green Knight, Lady Cisne, a full, what looks like wood elf, braided hair in a dragon braid, beautiful black hair, and she looks like she has like the, almost kind of like what a pure elf would find as kind of like the perfection for a female. She's currently actually wearing, even though most of the knights wear metal armor, it looks like she's maybe a druid, as most of her armor is actually hide. But she's currently has a long sword on her back, and she's got a bow that she keeps in her hand at all times.
Is she kind of like keeping an eye on the archery area?
No, she's actually leaving it. Looks like she might have just done something for like the fans. Like, here, let me show off my archery skills, and then now she's walking away with her squares. So she's about like 10 feet away from it.
Does she look like she's heading towards anything specific?
No, it looks like she's walking around, and maybe the occasional person who knows of her might be asking for like a specific marking on like their armor, like, oh, can you give your marking on like my breastplate, or give my marking on my shield, or something like that. And she's going around and she's being like the actual like very, very nice knight that's actually pleasing the crowd.
Okay. I'm just gonna keep an eye on her, but I'm gonna go into the archery place, and I'm gonna go ahead and try to win that.
Ah, hello, welcome.
Are there like specific bows that they're using, or is it just
you gotta use their bow? Yeah, they got their own bows that are set up. It looks like they're just basic wooden bows.
Can't use your own.
No, you can't use your own. They got their basic wooden bows, and then what looks like the game is that they turn on timer, and they start lifting up certain kind of balloons in the air, and you got to try to hit as many as you can in a matter of 6 seconds. So basically, you have one turn to use as many actions as you're able to fire off the bow. The bow can fire off 2 arrows at once, so 2 per attack. If you can hit them all, that's perfect score.
Okay. I will give it a try.
Okay, so to hit each balloon, you need to get at least a 14 or higher on a hit. So this would be a dexterity check, since bows use dexterity, not strength.
Bows are they simple weapons? So I believe I think
so.
Okay.
Let me double check. No. So, they're simple weapon. No. So this would be a simple ranged weapon. Yes, because it's a short bow.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay, and I'm sorry. How many do I need to roll?
How many attacks do you get per turn?
I believe just 1.
You don't have any extra attacks?
I have 2 weapon fighting, but I'm...
Oh, okay. So you get to roll twice. Two bow shots per attack.
Okay. I've got a 21 and a 16.
Okay, both are a hit. And so roll me then 2d10.
Where's my d10? That's my 12. 12.
12. Okay. So as immediately you pull back, due to not being able to have any extra turns, extra attacks, you immediately fire off 2 arrows with the bow, and you immediately get 2 right off the bat. As you immediately put your, the immediately like, all right, bow down. As immediately you have to drop down your bow. Well, 2. Do you want to go again? If you can get 1 more without missing, you get yourself a token.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go ahead.
So roll me 2 more again.
Natural 20 for a 27.
Okay.
and another 16.
Okay. As you immediately pull back and you immediately fire at these, you immediately get like a whistle off it so hard that you pull back with such precision. You actually accidentally snap the string as it immediately fires off, as this is not meant to be a combat bow, but you immediately do it, as immediately it grabs the attention of many people around you as you get such a powerful hit off of it. As immediately you hear the procession kind of like quiet down. And as immediately the attendee just like looks at you, it's like, well, that does not happen too often. Congratulations, as he immediately just slides down a token to you. As you immediately just see a shadow coming over you, as you see this tallish kind of wood elf come by you. Yes, congratulations. It's very rare to see a random patron get such good aim and fantastic marks on... Well, it's not common for many to be archers in this area. As you immediately see Cisne, it's Cisne coming up to you. As you see that she has her helm off, she's got her gloves off, and she's mostly in just like her breastplate, her boots, and her in like one pauldron on right now. As she just puts her helmet down, as she just immediately looks at you. I don't believe we've met before. I am Lady Cisne.
Hold on. I guess I probably have some kind of disguise up at this point.
Yeah.
I never even...
Are you in your your regular wood elf form?
Probably.
Okay.
You can call me Redfoe.
Redfoe, well met. It is nice to see one with other archery skills. Most warriors around here believe to be one with the blade and shield. I prefer mobility, range. How would you,
I grew up hunting in these parts.
What was that?
I grew up hunting in these parts.
Oh, well, perfect. I myself have grown up hunting in the area, and it's been a while since I've been back. Kindred spirits, maybe. How would you like it if I bought you a drink?
I see you. I just say no.
What'd you say?
Who am I to say no?
Fantastic. As she immediately looks at her group, and we are heading over to the tavern. As they start walking away, it's like, please excuse the crowd. You must not be from these parts, but I'm very well known around here. But come, we'll go over to my local watering hole, and I will buy you a pint. You can maybe see what more things we have in common. And she starts leading you about a block away, still within the area, but you find your way over into which place is it? It's the... I did not give it a name. Awesome. You make your way into the actual True Tavern, and you find yourself into what looks like a more top-notch tavern than most places around here, as this is kind of like the more fine wine and fine ale kind of place like that.
Okay.
As she immediately comes in, and she immediately, excuse me, she goes over and she comes over to like some kids, and they ask for like an autograph, and she like signs like the little wooden shields and stuff like that. As immediately she gets a table and she orders a couple of pints, as she puts one in front of you, one in front of her, and the squares go out, and she just looks and, well, you two, if you would not mind getting her ready for the game right away. And if you two want to go take a break, take a break. She looks, sorry, I'm in for a joust in an hour. Usually I don't have too much time on my hands, but kindred spirits and whatnot. And she immediately just lifts up her pint and she immediately goes in for a cheers. She goes in for a big swig as she like just chugs down the whole freaking pint. And she just immediately slaps it down.
I'm definitely not gonna chug it because we all know what happened last time. It's been 10 years and he's not letting it go. He'll like steadily drink a little bit at a time just to keep a clear head. Well, I certainly understand that duty calls. I can't say that I am overly familiar with you, my lady. I've unfortunately been away for some time and finally returned, so... But it is good to make your acquaintance.
As she just finished drinking and she just slams it down and she's just kind of... As you just see her green eyes and she just blinks and then she just looks at you as she opens up her eyes again and they have silver in them. As she just looks at you. Give me an Arcana check to see if you can tell what she's doing.
Oh.
12. You assume that she's casting some kind of spell as she's looking directly at you, but you can't tell what. She immediately looks at you, and you immediately see two of her squires as they're standing there. They're specifically trying to make noise so nobody can hear your conversation. Well, like I said, kindred spirits and whatnot, but before we continue our conversation, I prefer to put all cards on the table. First off, you might as well drop the charade, Gajirakash. We both know of each other. And that's where we're going to end it.
Of course.
Ah! Oh boy.
Wait. Oh no. I
work with
know
this bitch.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Alright. Thank you very much for watching this stream. Thank you for the couple files we got. The raids. That's fantastic. We love you. Do not forget to check out Star Wars Tomorrow Echoes on Thursday. If you missed this episode, we'll have it on VODs on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. That being said, everybody have a fantastic night, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye!